Chapter 1751. This time the war was won. Who gets the most credit? That is definitely Levi Garrison. Despite the emergence of the Bailong clan, victory was achieved. But their appearance is just the end. 4/5 of Levi Garrison's things were done. Especially the most threatening weapon to kill God. Levi Garrison tested poison with his own body and consumed all the energy boxes of the killing weapon, including the upgraded version. This made the real threat no longer. Otherwise, the weapons of killing gods can also pose a great threat to the Bailong clan. M.BG. In any case, Levi Garrison is the one who has contributed the most. He led Arudaya's passionate daughter to turn the tide. So everyone wants him to live. Even if it's dead. A little trace must be found. Carpet search by tens of thousands. But there is no miracle. Not only did they not see Levi Garrison, they didn't even have a trace of it. Master is out, I saw him beaten up with my own eyes. The killing weapon is just that terrifying, and it makes people disappear in an instant. Xiao Feng and the others are unwilling to accept this result, but there is no way. I hope God will take care of Arudaya, and let's have another miracle. Everyone prayed silently in their hearts. Boom boom. Tens of thousands of soldiers opened fire to the sky to pay tribute to Levi Garrison. The other side. After Su Zhenjia was taken to the War Eagle country, he received the highest courtesy and the most generous treatment. Richard and the others agreed to all the conditions he put forward. These islands and land are even more important. Even the promise of making him king must be fulfilled. There are many small affiliated countries in the War Eagle country. Under Richard's lobbying, the Eagle Nation decided to cede one of its largest subject states to Su Zhenjia and let him be the king. The ceremony of becoming king will be held in 7 days. Although this battle was not a victory, but Su Zhenjia's name spread all over the world, making him the hottest character. Now many international female superstars come to visit him, willing to be his lover. Some top rich international men came to him, willing to spend huge sums of money to buy the killer weapons in his hands. There are also more and more people coming to take refuge in Su Zhenjia internationally. Su Zhenjia, an ordinary person, stood on top of the world. I also have the credit, at least I killed Levi Garrison. I really want to tell Zoe this message. Personally. Su Zhenjia gave a perverted smile. Compared with Su Zhenjia's excitement, Richard and others are unhappy. They planned for her so long. Gathered such a powerful force. But I didn't think that it was a failure in the end. Even the younger brother was almost killed. Seeing Jefferson's miserable appearance now, he didn't get angry. Brother, fortunately, Levi is dying, and my revenge is revenge. After seeing the power of Levi Garrison, Jefferson knew that he had little hope of revenge. Fortunately, there is Su Zhenjia's killing weapon. Yes, after all, we still took advantage. At least Levi is dying. Otherwise, he will threaten us too much. In the future. What makes me wonder is where did Arudaya's last reinforcements come from? Who are they? Richard rubbed his chin and thought. Jefferson was thinking too. The pictures that flashed in his mind were all Levi Garrison. His body is shaking all the time. Recalling Levi Garrison's various things, he was really scared. This is the person he has feared the most since he was a child. He even had a strong feeling. Levi Garrison was completely dead. Levi Garrison's voice lingered in his ears. No matter you escape to the end of the world, I will catch you back. You can't escape from my position. Chapter 1752. Jefferson became more and more frightened. It seemed that Levi Garrison was around. A pair of eyes were staring at him in the dark. He soon came to War Eagle Nation and wanted to take him back. Jefferson told his brother all this. Join Telegram group for fast update. Richard was scolded severely. Jefferson, you were frightened by Levi Garrison and fell ill. I tell you, Levi Garrison is dead. Absolutely dead. Hundreds of thousands of people watched him die. Join Telegram group for fast update. You probably have a psychological shadow. Subsequently, Richard found several psychologists to enlighten and treat Jefferson. Su Genja is also in the same situation. Me see. He is the most concerned existence in the world. There are positive and negative effects. Many people called him a traitor, and killed his compatriots. Sooner or later, he will be caught in Arudaya for atonement. I don't know why, Su Genja felt a little flustered when he heard this. I always feel that this thing is going to happen the same. After all, he has a guilty conscience. He told Richard all this. Richard called him peace of mind. He is now a member of the Eagle Nation. It is necessary to become a king soon. What are you afraid of? No one can take him away in the Eagle Nation. There is no one in this world who would dare to be wild in the Eagle Nation. To arrest his brother and Su Genja is nothing short of a dream. Su Genja also gradually felt relieved. If you say where is the safest in the world? There is definitely a War Eagle Nation in the first 3 miles. He is not afraid at all now. While immersed in joy, Arudaya was still dealing with all kinds of troubles after the war. Including Xiao Feng, they have been looking for Levi Garrison's whereabouts. Even though we won the war in an all-round way, the enemy still ran a lot. First, Su Genja betrayed Arudaya, and killed countless compatriots with special weapons. He is Arudaya's sinner. Now he has fled to the War Eagle country. Secondly, Richard and Jefferson are 2 brothers. Richard is one of the planners who dominate the alliance. His identity is still unknown. They are also in the Eagle Nation. Third, Star Country's Sangxing Group, they are also important planners, and almost all the financial resources this time are from them. Fourth, even a certain faction of the Sky Shield Bureau sent people to Ginseng, and there is also the Apocalypse Association. Yanlong Wei Luo lists Arudaya's enemies. Perhaps we may have no solution now, but whenever there is a chance, everyone has to pay for their actions. These enemies were all remembered by Arudaya. There are also those warriors in Arudaya who have not participated in the battle, and those evil sects are also Arudaya's enemies, and they will all die. They also listed all the evildoers who have contact with the Domination Alliance. Well, if there is a Bailong clan taking action, all these evil sects will apologize. But Su Genja, Richard, and these people we can only watch. They are in the War Eagle Nation. How do we do it? Hey! They won't be able to move for a while, let's find a chance later. Maybe they won't be able to move in this life. I heard that Su Genja will serve as the king's ceremony in 7 days. We can't even touch him. At that time, everyone looked depressed. Move, why not move? Jefferson has only begun 10 years in jail, so he has to come back to jail honestly. Su Genja was punished for treason and must be arrested back to Arudaya and be sentenced to death. I said you can't escape from my 5-finger mountain. Somewhere in the northern continent, a voice rang. Levi Garrison appeared. Chapter 1753. The Revenge of All the Brothers in Levi's Squad. The Revenge of All the Brothers Who Died. Levi Garrison was holding a black war knife in his hand. This is the sword of the Northern Heavenly King. It was made by him using meteorite iron from the outer world. Named Beiming. Now Levi Garrison is not only holding a knife, but also carrying the hope of his brothers. Is Levi Garrison dead? Of course it's dead. Let's put it this way, Levi Garrison is not a fool. If the killing weapon can really kill him, is he really going to be a target in a silly way, letting killer weapons hit it? Impossible. The consumption is not so consumed. Since becoming a commander, Levi Garrison told the soldiers that the important thing is to be alive. No matter how the battlefield changes. First think about surviving. Only if you are qualified to live can you continue to fight. Therefore, Levi Garrison would not consume the opponent's weapons with death. The killing weapon is indeed amazing and can hurt him. Can't kill him. After getting the opportunity from the cheap master, Levi Garrison's physical strength reached an unimaginable state. During the bombardment with the killing weapon, he was actually testing his physical strength. He measured it. Even the 80 shots of Su Zhenjia's upgraded version of the killing weapon hit him. You can beat him to death, but you can't kill him. At the critical moment, Levi Garrison noticed that someone was staring secretly. In order to force them out, I want to know who they are. These people are indeed the Bailong clan. They had been observing everything in secret early on. But at that time, Levi Garrison couldn't judge whether it was an enemy or a friend, so he could only test it. So when Levi Garrison was in his 60s, he created the illusion of being beaten to pieces. This is difficult for others. But it's very simple for Levi Garrison. This is a combat technique taught to him by the cheap master, the ghost clone. It is to deceive everything at the extreme speed and appear the illusion of a clone. So what was smashed was actually a clone. May deceive everyone in the field, including the mysterious Bailong clan. In their opinion, Levi Garrison was also shattered. The magic shadow avatar Levi Garrison is just a starting point, and can currently practice a avatar. Of course it was Levi Garrison who worked hard on this combat technique. In his opinion, the practicality is not high, and he focuses on other combat skills and exercises. Now it seems that in the future, you will have to practice more demon shadow clones. In particular, I heard from Master Chi that if the demon shadow clone has reached the top level, hundreds of clones will not be a problem. That was something Levi Garrison couldn't imagine. Levi Garrison asked the cheap master curiously, how many clones can he practice? The cheap master didn't answer, but just raised a finger. At that time, Levi Garrison didn't take it seriously. But every time he thought about it later, he was startled in a cold sweat. This finger represents. The cheap master cannot be described as a strange person. It's like a fairy. At this time, Levi Garrison was holding the Biming sword in his hand and had already arrived in Bafang continent. It is very close to the Eagle Nation. When he heard that Su Zhenjia was going to be a king, he trembled with anger. Su Zhenjia, I can't spare you. There are also all the evil deeds made by the War Eagle Nation back then, and I have to punish them. One by one. Levi Garrison went to the War Eagle Nation step by step. No one would have thought that the kingdom of War Eagle is about to usher in a bloody storm. The most terrifying thing is that only Levi Garrison is alone. One person kills the wind and rain, and there is no God in the world. Who said that no one would dare to be wild in the Eagle Nation? Have you ever asked me about Levi Garrison? Chapter 1754. Before the big summer, the country was in trouble. There are not a few people who quit Erudaya nationality. Overseas countries actively accept elite talents from Erudaya. According to the statistics, the three countries that receive the most talents from Erudaya are the War Eagle country, the East Island and the Star country. War Eagle Nation, 570,000 people. East Island, 420,000 people. Star country, 330,000 people. Unimaginable numbers. These are really a large list of talents recruited by various countries. More are not found. This wave of great summer difficulties has detected people's hearts. How many people were defeated and escaped from Erudaya? But what they didn't think was that Erudaya had won. So 99% of people are facing an awkward situation. Can he go back to Erudaya? Before leaving Erudaya, it was not because they could live a better life abroad. But Erudaya was in dire straits and was about to perish. They just left. In fact, joining other countries will not necessarily develop better than in Arudaya. After all, not everyone is Sujenja, who can be a king, so that the Eagle nation can meet all his conditions. Most people find that after joining another country, they are not as beautiful as they imagined. Countries like the War Eagle nation simply don't treat them as their own people. Just fancy their money, resources, talents, and so on. Fortunately, those who are talented and capable can be reused. But like most people will only be squeezed to a large extent. When their value is squeezed out, these countries will absolutely kick them away without mercy. Although everyone doesn't say this point, they feel like Ming Spiegel in their hearts. Especially Zhang Wentao, who came to War Eagle Nation, and Lopez and Black's family. They understand better. Because of this period, the War Eagle Nation began to squeeze them in all aspects. In a short period of time, their money has been squeezed by a third. These people from the Lopez and Black family who fled were actually nothing in their respective families. Everyone's abilities are very average. They need to be literary, but they need to be martial. It's all relying on the shadow of the family. Without the foundations of the family, the Western Chu family, and even Wushuan City, they are nothing. After Arudaya's victory, they became more aware of their situation. Now they have huge sums of money and even resources. But all this will be used up. The family will not provide them with continuous supply. Zhang Wentao, Li Songkui, Li Wenhai, and others all gathered together to discuss solutions. Concubine Zhaojun and Li Menjai themselves yearned for a leisurely life abroad. The two unanimously expressed that they were unwilling to leave the War Eagle country. If they can, they will always be in the Eagle nation. Li Songkui and Zhang Wentao also liked their lives in War Eagle nation. According to the current situation, we can definitely live in Warhawk Nation for 4 or 5 years. But what should we do after 4 or 5 years? Li Wenfei was more sensible and asked everyone this. Everyone hesitated. They all understand that all the resources and money on hand will be exhausted one day. Then we go back to Arudaya. Li Wenhai asked tentatively. No, it's shameful. Now they all treat us as traitors. It's very difficult for us to return to Arudaya. Besides, the elderly in the family disagree. After all, we are unscrupulous descendants. Furthermore, what are we doing back to Arudaya? The Eagle nation is so good. Seeing that everyone is reluctant to go back, Li Wenhai said, I have a way. What can I do? Say it. Everyone looked forward to it. Chapter 1755. We can stay in War Eagle Nation. We can ask for money and resources from the family. I don't believe it. Can those old guys just watch us die? Li Wenhai asked. Yes, in fact, Grandpa and Grandma are like knives and tofu hearts. This time we did make them angry. But once we have something, how can they leave it alone? Isn't it? Once we have an accident, those old guys are still dying in a hurry. Why don't we send them? That said, everyone is relieved. Excitement appeared on everyone's faces. They can continue to stay in the Eagle Nation and be their masters. Then despise Arudaya's compatriots. The most important thing is that they can continue to chew on the old M.Bg. Everyone is like a mosquito, sucking the blood of the family fiercely. But they were wrong. Once they are in distress, Li Tianhao will never ignore them. This is the confidence that Li Wenhai and the others continue to stay in the Eagle Nation. But after Li Songkui answered a call, his face was gloomy. I heard that Lavilia is a genius thing, and Arudaya Messiah he has already learned about it. The next step is to focus on training. Think about it, Lavilia is Arudaya's future hope, how high his status is. The tide will rise, and the status of the Li family and the Zhao family will also skyrocket. It can even seal a family of protecting the country and they like. It was really the peak moment of the family at that time. Li Songkui said. This is the message he inquired just now. It's really wrong. Messiah and the others did not find the whereabouts of Levi Garrison. They decided to fully compensate Levi Garrison's family. Just discovered that Lavilia is a peerless genius. Determined to focus on training. The message has been released. What? The expressions of everyone present changed in unison. If this is the case, then the Lopez and Black family will take off. Even if they are living well in War Eagle Nation, they are not as supreme as they are in Arudaya. If that's the case, what's the point of staying here? We have to go back to Arudaya as soon as possible. Yes, Arudaya is our hometown, we should go back. Even though we are in a foreign country, we are all Arudaya people. The crowd came to make a big turn of 180 degrees. At this moment, I really want to return to Arudaya. Want to go back to Arudaya? Impossible. Suddenly a voice appeared. The next moment, a large group of people entered the manor. It is Su Genja headed. He is now sweet and delicious. Once out, countless masters followed. A helicopter hovered in midair. The Eagle Nation did not want him to die, let alone his being taken away by other countries or forces. Therefore, the defense coefficient around Su Genja is the highest level. Follow as many masters as you can. It's you. After Li Songkui and the others saw Su Genja, everyone's face changed drastically. They know Su Genja. I also know that Su Genja is Levi Garrison's classmate. From now on, all of you will follow me, and your identity as the nationality of the Eagle Nation will never change. Su Genja smiled. Li Wenfei looked at each other. If you really followed Su Genja, they are the real traitors. Like a brand, it is impossible to return to Arudaya in this life. If you don't agree, there may be no place for you in this world. Don't worry, after following, glory and wealth will accompany you throughout your life, even in the Eagle Nation, you are all masters. In the end, everyone agreed to follow Su Genja. Chapter 1756. After all, fate is the most important thing now. If it weren't for Su Genja's promise, anyone can predict the end. So they must follow Su Genja. What is Su Genja's purpose? It's very simple. He wants to disintegrate Zoe's family, completely ruining it from the inside out. Let these people be charged with traitors. But Su Genja didn't break his promise. After Li Wenfei and the others agreed, War Eagle Nation immediately gave them the best treatment. Regardless of status and others, they are all up to the next level. Su Genja also promised that after he became king, they would be able to be promoted. You can even be knighted in the Warhawk Nation. The future of Li Wenhai and others is bright. Following Su Genja's words, it is more promising than returning to Arudaya. Back to Arudaya, I just lived in the shadow of Zoe, Lavilia. But in War Eagle Nation, everything is completely different. They don't need to rely on others, just follow Su Genja. Everyone was jubilant. After that, Su Genja's desire to be a king became enthusiastic. Not only that, there are many former Arudaya people who eagerly supported Su Genja. Everyone is willing to follow Su Genja. Because Su Genja not only contacted Li Wenhai and the others, but also many top elites who escaped from Arudaya. Su Genja's plan is to bring all these people together. It can be seen that Su Genja's ambition is huge. I leave Arudaya. But I want to build another big summer outside. After Su Genja had a huge impact, Messiah was furious. Messiah he immediately released a proposal internationally, requesting the War Eagle Nation to hand over Su Genja and Jefferson, who had been convicted in Arudaya. This proposal was directly rejected. Messiah can only give up. I can only watch Su Genja and the others in the Nation of Eagles. You can't send people directly to War Eagle Nation to bring people back. If you don't have such strength, you can't even dare to go if you have strength. Messiah he tried to contact the Bailong clan and asked them to bring people back. Bailong's reply is simple, this matter is over. Messiah understood that even the Bailong clan was very afraid of this matter. Cannot cause trouble without causing trouble. Everyone can only watch Su Zhenjia show off his majesty. After learning that Li Wenhai and others had taken refuge in Su Zhenjia, Li Tianhao and Wu Mulan immediately contacted them. Unscrupulous children and grandchildren. The faces of our Li family, Zhao family, have lost all of you. Listen to our persuasion, quickly get out of it, and then return to Arudaya. We will pick you up in Arudaya. Now that they have tasted the sweetness, how can they go back? Parents, just listen to me, you also come to War Eagle Nation, I promise to be even higher than the status of Arudaya. This is heaven on earth. Yet, what is good about Arudaya? You should really come out and see the world outside. You know? Mr. Su promised to give us 2 islands, and we will be the island owners in the future. Not only did Li Wenhai refuse to listen to persuasion, but they also tempted the family to move here. Bastard! You will starve to death outside in the future, we won't care about it. Several old people were angry. Ho ho, you don't have to worry about our parents in the future, we'll be dying. They don't care about this at all. Go away, we'll be cut off from now on. The Lopez and Black family are determined to break with these people. Stupid, decayed, and stubborn. One day you regret it. Chapter 1757. Li Wenhai roared. Others echoed, yes, they are too stubborn. Actually, after we followed Mr. Su, we didn't have much contact with War Eagle country. Because Mr. Su is committed to creating another Arudaya, not to mention that most of the people who follow Mr. Su are our Arudaya compatriots. This is different from Arudaya. That's right, we are equivalent to overseas Arudaya. Who said he betrayed his ancestors? Instead, we win glory for our ancestors. Sprinkle all of Arudaya on the other side of the world. We are still the heroes of Arudaya. Everyone said without any face. Obviously betrayed. But it was described as having done Guangzhou Yeazu's thing. M.Bg. Next, Su Zhenjia contacted many compatriots who had renounced Arudaya nationality. Everyone agreed. The greater Su Zhenjia's momentum became, the more angry the Arudaya people and Messiah he. But helpless. Can only condemn. How many people hope that a hero will appear, and Su Zhenjia will be severely punished. Destroy their ambitions. Although knowing that this is an extravagant wish. In the Messiah he base. Is there still no whereabouts of the king? Everyone was silent. I have been searching for several days. There are no traces at all. What's more, hundreds of thousands of people watched Levi Garrison being destroyed by the god of death weapon. It's not resurrected like Zhejiang Mountain before. Xiao Feng, who was well versed in Levi Garrison's ancient techniques, knew that Levi Garrison's body was destroyed. Not even relying on this technique. Do not break or stand. But it broke too thoroughly. There is simply no possibility of standing. Hey, let's tell his family the message. Let's discuss and hold a funeral of the highest level for the king of the word side by side. What a pity. Arudaya will try his best to help his family in the future. Everyone had no hope of Levi Garrison being alive. By the way, the Bailong clan is going to take action against those evil ways, and we must completely clean up everyone. Good thing. You have to let Arudaya's warriors know the end of the betrayal. But what Messiah didn't know was that the danger of the capital was done by some of them who were surrendered by Levi Garrison. But these people are also on the clearing list of the Bailong clan. But now Levi is not here. No one knows that they have done all this. The decision of the Bailong clan couldn't even interfere with Messiah he. The other side. Levi Garrison has come to the territory of War Eagle Nation. In a short period of time, he has found the residences of Jefferson and Su Genja and their recent whereabouts. Jefferson was timid and had been hiding in a laboratory to repair his mechanical body. Su Genja swaggered back and forth in northern continent, gathering many contacts and influences. Okay, very good, don't you want to be a king? Hell should be missing. Levi Garrison sneered coldly. He will wait until Su Genja reaches the king's ceremony before making a move. He did not send a message to Arudaya. First, Arudaya knows that he is alive, which may cause some unnecessary troubles. There are still many factors. Second, if Arudaya knew that he was going to take action against Su Genja, Arudaya would never let him go and would order him to stop and return to Arudaya. Third, Levi Garrison happened to secretly investigate the organization of the Domination Alliance. 7 days have come in a blink of an eye. The ceremony for Su Genja to be a king was held in the Eagle Nation. Levi Garrison also chose to do it on this day. Take Su Genja back to Arudaya. Are you ready? Chapter 1758. Black Iron Experimental Base. It is one of the hundreds of experimental bases behind the first mysterious laboratory of the Warhawk Kingdom behind Richard Jefferson is here. First, his mechanical body is seriously damaged and needs to be repaired. Second, this experimental base is heavily guarded, and no bird can fly in. Jefferson is at ease here. Not only that. For Jefferson's peace of mind, Richard also sent a pseudo-seventh heaven powerhouse. It was just one step away from the seventh heaven realm. It can be said that this master is absolutely above all 6 heaven masters. Throughout this time, the strong people who dominate the alliance are like clouds, but they are all 6-tier strong, and there is no pseudo-7th day strong. So under such tight protection, Jefferson would feel more at ease. But he still has nightmares from time to time. The top psychiatrist is actively guiding the treatment. Jefferson is much better now. Mr. Jefferson, today is Mr. Su Genja's attendance ceremony, the host wants you to attend. Hearing this, Jefferson shook his head. Tell my brother, I will not participate. He is in a bad state today and is not interested in anything. With the help of the servant, Jefferson began to have breakfast. At this time, Jennings, the senior of the laboratory, came over. Mr. Jefferson, I can tell you a good news that the protection system of our black iron experimental base has been upgraded by 1 level again. Oh! Jefferson's eyes lit up fiercely. Let's put it this way, now I am confident that even if a strong man from the pseudo-7th heaven comes, it will never be possible to enter the defensive area of our laboratory for half a step. Jennings looked confident. Rumble. But as soon as his voice fell, there was a shaking movement from outside. The entire laboratory base shook. Did it die? Then the whole base sirens loudly. Invasion! Invasion! Enemies invade! Quick, quick! An enemy invades! The entire experimental base is in a mess. Jefferson's face changed drastically, his eyes fixed on Jennings. The meaning is obvious. This is how you said the defense system has been upgraded? Jennings flushed and said furiously, I will handle this myself. Don't panic, there's nothing wrong with me. A person behind Jefferson said lightly. Jefferson looked calm. Now. The gate of the Black Iron Laboratory base. The special alloy gate that could hold the missile attack fell to the ground. It was just banged in half by someone with his feet. There was a person standing at the door. Wearing black clothes and a mask on his face. Carrying a black war knife. Familiar people can tell at a glance that this is the dress of the members of the Levi's squad. The mask and the sword are matched. Today, Levi Garrison is in such a costume. He wants to bring these 2 people back to Arudaya in the name of Levi's squad and the dead. brothers. Soon, hundreds of guards gathered in the laboratory. These guards include warriors and warriors wearing mechs. They have modern super weapons and extraordinary strength. In addition, the laboratory has an advanced defense system. Intruders, kill without mercy. Jennings brought people here quickly. So courageous, there are people who dare to break into the Black Iron Lab. Jennings shouted coldly. The weapons of hundreds of people and the weapon launch system of the base defense all locked. Levi Garrison. With an order, Levi Garrison was definitely called to be wiped out in ashes. Who are you? What are you here for? Jennings stared at Levi Garrison and asked. A big summer, come and catch Jefferson and go back. Chapter 1759. The words came out. The entire base is silent. Everyone was stunned. Jefferson, who was having breakfast in the back, his face changed drastically when he heard this. Snapped. The coffee in his hand fell to the ground. One stone stirred up 1,000 waves. When I heard Erudia's words, everyone in the base changed color one after another. Many people are wondering if this is a dream. Jefferson really got it right? Someone really came to the Eagle Nation to catch him? It turns out he was not talking nonsense. What he said is justified. Seeing the group of people in front of him was dumbfounded, Levi Garrison said coldly, "Hurry up. And bring Jefferson out obediently, don't force me to do it myself." Levi Garrison's words drew everyone back from their absence. But recovered. Everyone is quite calm. What are they afraid of? This is the War Eagle country. Not Erudia. What can I do with you? Not only did they not panic anymore. Even Jefferson didn't panic anymore. This is not Erudia after all. If you want to take him away, you must agree with the Eagle Nation. But is that possible? The Eagle Nation is on his side. Don't worry, they will take care of everything. The Supermaster standing behind Jefferson was very calm. What? Are you crazy? This is the War Eagle Nation. Are you a big summer dare to come here to find someone? Are you impatient? Jennings, who reacted, yelled at Levi Garrison. In their opinion, Levi Garrison's behavior was crazy. Come in the land of the Eagle Nation, come and take away their people. This is impossible. Erudia dare not. Messiah didn't dare. A few days ago, Erudia also issued a proposal for them to hand over, but was rejected by the Eagle Nation. Erudia can only give up. Now a nameless man actually came to ask someone. It's ridiculous. I know this dress, a member of the Temple of Heaven in Erudia town. Levi's squad is almost dead, he is probably here to take revenge. Some people recognize the dress of the Levi's squad. Hey, you dare to come to the War Eagle Nation to be important people? Erudia seniors dare not. Jennings said coldly. Levi Garrison frowned, I only give you 3 seconds. If you don't hand it to someone, I will go in and catch it myself. Hearing that, Jennings and the others laughed. Come on, I'll count down for you. 3, 2, 1, come, you come to catch. Jennings and others are extremely arrogant. They are confident with the defense of the base, not to mention a big living person, even a bird does not want to fly in. Levi Garrison did not speak. Shit. There was a sharp sound of metal rubbing. He drew the North Ming sword. Step by step to the base. Kill him. Jennings gave an order. Immediately dozens of warriors killed Levi Garrison like crazy. Dead. There was a cold voice. Levi Garrison turned his wrist. The North Ming sword flew out, whirling out after images. Puff. 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 Dozens of warriors fell one by one, blood shot in the throat. Jennings and others were stunned on the spot. I thought it was just a nameless man, coming from a lot of blood. Unexpectedly, he is still a master. Take him! Jennings growled. More and more powerful people all surrounded. Kill! The beaming sword swiveled into Levi Garrison's hands, and he grabbed the sword and rushed towards the enemy. It was like a bolt of lightning. Hey! 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 I saw the black knife light flickering, piercing the eyes. After a breath, the ground was full of corpses. Chapter 1760. On the North Ming sword, blood drops dripped, not even a drop. The knife is not bloody. It shows that it is a peerless sword. This. Looking at the corpses in one place, Jennings was completely stunned. So strong? But this is the beginning. Waiting for their reaction, Levi approached his sword and continued to charge. Puff! Puff! Mic. Under him, all the powerhouses of the 5th and 6th heavens can cut melons and vegetables. Not to mention these. Even if it is a mecha fighter who is hard-wearing and can withstand the bombardment of modern weapons. Shit! Levi Garrison Beiming's sword directly cut open the mecha. This knife cuts iron like mud. No matter how hard it is, it can't hold a single sword. Puff! With a single knife, Levi Garrison split the man and the modern mecha in half. With another blow, several people fell. With an unstoppable momentum, he rushed into the base abruptly. He can even smash all the dominating alliance forces. Just these people? Just like coaxing to play. Seeing Levi Garrison came all the way in, Jennings panicked. Hurry up and activate the defense system. Hurry up! Jennings gave an order and the base defense system was activated immediately. A series of special alloy walls drilled out from the ground, trapping Levi Garrison. The alloy walls are covered with power grids, and there are flashes of electricity. At the same time, a door-to-door weapon launching system climbed out of the surrounding heights. Fr. Jennings roared. Boom 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 boom. Da-da-da-da. For a time, all the weapon launch systems bombarded Levi Garrison. Various advanced weapons blasted at Levi Garrison like a gust of wind. At the same time, the power grid on the alloy wall began to emit laser beams. In a small space, there are hundreds of lasers crisscrossing each other. This kind of laser is the most terrifying. Even if it is touched by a supreme-level powerhouse, it will be torn, especially under such high-density laser cutting. No wonder Jennings said earlier that even a pseudo-7th heaven could not get in. Under such firepower coverage, it is comparable to the upgraded version of Su Genja's killing weapon. Who can stop it? Rumble. This wave of attacks shook the earth and the mountains, and the earth broke apart. No one would think that Levi Garrison would survive. But the next second, the alloy wall burst open. A tall figure emerged. Boom! Boom boom! Boom boom! At the same time, the North Ming sword flew out. Destroy all weapon launch systems. 3 minutes. Less than 3 minutes. The defense system of the Black Iron experimental base was completely destroyed. No weapon is effective against Levi Garrison. He killed himself and came in. The one who stopped me, die. Levi Garrison continued to charge with one sword. Soon, everyone under Jennings fell to the ground. Everyone is standing. It's not good, the big thing is bad. Jennings retreated and found Jefferson and them. What? Panicked. The master behind Jefferson said angrily. It's not good, he got in. Jennings lay on the ground and gasped. Boom. In the next second, the floor-to-ceiling windows all burst. Levi Garrison appeared in everyone's eyes. Jefferson's body trembled. Why is this person so like Levi Garrison? Look at the body shape is exactly the same. Although he was wearing a mask, Jefferson could feel a familiar breath. Jefferson, you can't escape from my 5-finger mountain. A familiar voice came, and Jefferson staggered to the ground. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1761. This is Levi Garrison. He is alive. He is still alive. He. Jefferson was already shocked to the point of being beyond suffocation. It turns out that his instincts are accurate. Levi Garrison is still alive. God-killing weapons can't kill him. You. Jefferson lay on the ground, pointing at Levi Garrison, his teeth trembled, and he didn't say a word for a long time. Want to take him away? Pass my level. The strong breath behind Jefferson dissipated. A terrifying aura enveloped the audience. He was only one step short of stepping into the seventh heaven. It is much stronger than the strong in the sixth heaven. He is the strongest person Levi Garrison has ever met. Shit. He slowly drew a long sword similar to the Higashishima samurai sword from his back. The electric light flickered on the blade, and this special metal contained terrifying power. He held this long knife, as if death had descended. Schroeder perfectly blends East Island swordsmanship with Western swordsmanship and modern technology. His strength made Jefferson a little relieved. With me, don't want to take people away. A cold light flashed in Schroeder's eyes, and he killed with a long knife. Chi. His speed was so fast that the earth couldn't bear his power, and even cracked 2 gaps. His knife is too fast. It's almost the definition of detachment speed. Levi Garrison was a prey in his eyes. He definitely kills with one blow. Quicker? Haha. Levi Garrison sneered and charged with the beaming sword. Boom. They two quickly passed by. The two stood back to back. Nothing seems to happen. Can be the next second. I saw a blood arrow shot soaring. Kaka. The special long knife in Schroeder's hand snapped. Kaka. Immediately, he split in half and fell to the ground. The pseudo-seventh heaven powerhouse, Levi Garrison, killed him with a single shot. The blood splashed the faces of everyone around. They were all frightened. Jennings was even more frightened and passed out. You do not come, I. Jefferson's psychological defense completely collapsed, piercing shouting. Levi Garrison came to him and sneered, "Oh, come with me, you don't want to run away in this life." Bang bang bang. Levi Garrison fisted, and the mechanical body that Jefferson had just repaired was destroyed again. Levi Garrison dragged him like a wild dog away. Okay, next one, Sugenja. A cold light flashed in Levi Garrison's eyes. He went straight to the place where the ceremony was held. The big thing is not good, the big thing is not good. Mr. Jefferson was taken away. The entire dark iron base was reduced to a sea of flames. There were roars everywhere. Messed up. Completely messed up. At this moment, it is located somewhere in the waters of the Eagle Nation. Where is an aircraft carrier? That's right. Today, Sugenja's ascension ceremony is held on this aircraft carrier. It shows that the War Eagle country attaches great importance to it. Together with Li Wenhai and others, also came to participate in the ceremony. They feel more and more right. The future is bright and boundless. Richard is also one of the important guests, sitting in an important position. At this time, a person hurriedly ran over to Richard's side and said, "Mr. Richard is not doing well." Richard frowned, "What's the matter?" "Mr. Jefferson was captured by a big summer, just now," a stone stirred up waves. "What?" Richard's face changed wildly when he heard it. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1762. Hi! Richard and a few people around him gasped. Jefferson was taken away? Ora Arudaya. Is Jefferson right? What's the matter with Jennings and Schroeder? Didn't I let them watch? Couldn't the Dark Iron Lab prevent a big summer? Richard roared angrily. "Mr. Richard, it is said that the base protection system was directly destroyed. Schroeder was killed on the spot, not stopped at all. This sentence came out. Richard's face was gloomy. Schroeder was killed in seconds. It is enough to show that the other party is very strong. Hurry and find. Use all your power to find, and find where Jefferson is as quickly as possible. Richard ordered. At the same time, he touched his chin and thought, Who? Who is it? Arudaya can't be so courageous. The Eagle Nation has clearly expressed its attitude. Arudaya can only watch. They. Other humans said, should be a big summer warrior. Men in big shaky still a lot. No matter who he is. Dare to run wild on my sight, is the dragon have to dish. In particular, caught my brother, shall be no survivors. Richard was anxious. If it weren't for the ceremony, it would begin immediately. He wants to find someone himself. When Richard gave an order, almost half of the Eagle Nation was shocked. Countless forces and people all mobilized to start a carpet search in several cities. Even the warriors from the Eagle Nation also intervened in the search. Many advanced technologies are all used. Especially the most powerful Skynet system of the Warhawk Nation is turned on. Let's put it this way, even a bug can't escape this search range. He can even search for it even abroad. After all, the Skynet system of the Eagle Nation covers almost half of the world. This level of search is simply terrifying. Absolutely world class. Time flies. Half an hour passed. The shocking thing is that the two of Jefferson just disappeared. Can't search at all. When Richard heard the news, his face was extremely gloomy. What? Can't find anyone. Trash, all trash. Can't find even two people? What's the use of you? Richard was anxious. Don't worry, sir, we have already stepped up the search. It is determined that they have not left the War Eagle country, and are still in the War Eagle country. Richard is even more angry, still in the War Eagle country, you can't find it. A bunch of waste. Richard became more anxious. It just so happened that Su Zhenjia's ascension ceremony was about to begin. He can't leave. Not to mention the news now. You have to wait until the ceremony is over. At the same time, Arudaya received a question from Warhawk Nation, why did they send someone to catch Jefferson? Masayahi and Arudaya's structures were all dumbfounded. They sent someone to catch Jefferson? When did this happen? Why don't they know? Everyone looked dumbfounded. They hurriedly inquired to confirm this matter. No one in Arudaya was going to catch Jefferson. And if you can catch Jefferson, it's probably only the Bailong clan who has this ability. But that's impossible. The Bailong clan strictly forbids the arrest of people in the Eagle Nation. Who could it be? Everyone was dumbfounded. The most important thing is that Jefferson was really caught. The Eagle Nation, on the aircraft carrier of the Eagle. Richard was sweating anxiously. 1 hour passed. Still no clue to Jefferson. What's the matter? Has the world evaporated? Richard said. At this time, Su Zhenjia's ceremony of ascending to the king officially began. Amidst the cheers of the crowd, Su Zhenjia appeared. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1763. Starting today, he will become the king of a country. Command all living beings. An ordinary person can do this step, it can be said to be against the sky. The light in Su Zhenjia's eyes was clear, and his ambition was undoubtedly revealed. He did what ordinary people can't imagine. At this time, some people think he is a nerd. Some people still think he's worthless. He stepped on all his peers with 1 foot now. The loyal followers of Su Zhenjia, Li Wenhai, Zhang Wentao, and their eyes were full of eagerness. From now on, they will be the first batch of heroes. Everyone will have a very high status and luxurious future. We have too many choices. In the future, we will also be people with status. Go back to Arudaya. Go back to Arudaya. What is good about Arudaya? Li Songkui and others have seen a bright future, one by one shouted excitedly. At the beginning of the ceremony, Richard also calmed his emotions. Hold the ceremony first. Other things wait until the ceremony. In the eyes of the public, the ceremony began. The number of representatives of the War Eagle Nation will sign an agreement with Su Zhenjia to hand over the vassal state of the War Eagle Nation to Su Zhenjia. Make him a unique king. This ceremony has attracted worldwide attention. Countless people are watching. Especially in Arudaya, countless people gritted their teeth. They can only be angry, but they can only watch. But soon, the heat of this ceremony was overshadowed by another thing. That's what happened when Jefferson was captured by Arudaya's mysterious master. I don't know who came from this news. Once it came out, the whole world exploded. Everyone paid attention to this matter. Arudaya is crazy? Dare to arrest people in the Eagle Nation? Arudaya Masayahi and other major institutions were also wronged. I don't know who it is at all. They have no way to stop, they can only stand by. Watching. Who is going to make trouble in the heavenly palace in the Eagle Nation? In particular, I heard that countless people in Warhawk Nation went crazy looking for people. Everyone is more concerned. Soon, a message came. The man has been found. The world's eyes are focused on the lake city of the Eagle Nation. The ceremony is continuing. A subordinate hurriedly ran to Richard. Mr. Richard is not good. Mr. Jefferson and the whereabouts of the man have been found. Richard almost jumped up in surprise. He found it? Where is it? Richard asked. He was actually nearby. Our people searched every area of Lake City, but ignored this area. He is here. What? Richard's expression changed sharply. A terrible idea was born in his mind. Isn't he here for him? Richard stood up immediately and interrupted the ceremony. Thousands of people in the field focused their eyes on him. Mr. Richard, what are you going to do? Su Zhenjia not only asked. There may be danger coming soon, let's speed up the ceremony. I'm afraid something will happen. Richard reminded. Su Zhenjia looked displeased. Mr. Richard, what do you mean? My ascension ceremony should be accelerated? Why? Danger? There is still danger in the War Eagle country? I don't believe it. I just want to. Boom. Kaka. In the next second, a figure fell from the sky and landed on the aircraft carrier. Like a cannonball falling. Exploding the ground and shaking the mountain. What is even more frightening is that dense spider-web-like cracks appeared on the aircraft carrier's deck, which quickly spread to the surroundings. The huge movement directly blocked the progress of the ceremony. Su Zhenjia's words are held in his throat. The entire aircraft carrier is in a mess. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1764. The deck of the aircraft carrier shattered, and the 100,000-ton aircraft carrier shook vigorously. Everyone was stunned. There were screams. As chaotic as possible. Everyone was shocked. Especially Richard and Su Zhenjia. After a while, the eyes of the people who had been slowing down focused on the figure. No, there was a person lying under his feet, covered in blood. That is Jefferson. Seeing Jefferson, Richard was crazy. Jefferson! He yelled. Everyone who knew this was crazy. Everyone's teeth trembled. It's him. It's him. He actually came here. Everyone was dumbfounded. Levi Garrison's whereabouts have just been found, nearby. Unexpectedly, it was for the ceremony. The crowd was full of voices, and everyone quickly told each other about Jefferson's capture. What? Someone came to catch Jefferson in Arudaya? How could this be? Not only the others didn't believe it. Su Zhenjia didn't believe it either. Is Arudaya crazy? Dare to do this? Before, Su Zhenjia knew that Arudaya would never get mixed up, so he did so with great fanfare. I didn't expect someone to come to the ceremony, obviously it is for him. The eyes of thousands of people in the field all fell on Levi Garrison's body. Jefferson at his feet had fainted long ago. I advise you to let my brother go quickly, I might spare your life. Otherwise, I promise you won't be able to leave the eagle alive. Richard threatened. Levi Garrison glanced at him, but did not stop. Levi Garrison's gaze was fixed on Su Zhenjia. Su Zhenjia is yours, can you escape? Levi Garrison spoke. Boom. Su Zhenjia felt his body trembled and his scalp numb. Unprecedented fear came to my heart. Su Zhenjia, you betrayed the motherland and killed countless compatriots with weapons. Do you know that you are guilty? You still want to stand on your own mountain, is it possible? Obediently come back to Arudaya Fuzu. Those who betray Arudaya, kill without mercy. Levi Garrison's 2 words sounded like thunder in everyone's ears. Su Zhenjia was so scared that he almost staggered to the ground. The other people who had been Arudaya were trembling when they heard this. As if this is their end. Levi Garrison dragged Jefferson and walked towards Su Zhenjia step by step under the gaze of thousands of eyes. The people on both sides shivered with fright. Especially Li Wenhai, Li Wenfei, and Li Songkui. When Levi Garrison saw them, he couldn't help being stunned. Are these people here? Also become a traitor? Originally, it seemed that Zoe's face could be closed to these people, but now all of them have betrayed Arudaya. A bunch of waste. Hey! Li Wenhai and all of them just felt chills in their hearts. Why did this person's eyes glance over them specially? Are they special? At this moment, they have a strong hunch that everything about them will be lost. Soon they had nowhere to stay. Levi Garrison passed over them, and at the same time came to Su Zhenjia. Be obediently, you can get less pain. Levi Garrison said coldly. At this time, Su Zhenjia had calmed down his emotions. He looked at Levi Garrison with a sneer and said, please make it clear that this is the War Eagle Nation, not Arudaya. It is not your turn to be a Arudaya man to behave. What's wrong with the War Eagle Nation? The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1765. Now, the eyes of the whole world are on the aircraft carrier Eagle. In other words, Levi Garrison's every move was under surveillance. What he does next will be broadcast live. Hundreds of millions of people in Arudaya are watching Levi Garrison's whereabouts. Domineering. Hearing Levi Garrison's words, Arudaya all cheered. Even Messiah clenched his fists tightly and shouted out loud. They don't know who this person is. Can't find it either. But the only certainty is that he is from Arudaya. He is doing the right thing. Since he couldn't stop it, he was upset. It is best to bring Su Zhenjia and Jefferson back to Arudaya. Yang Arudaya Kwoi. Let them know that Arudaya is not afraid of anyone. I'm just afraid of trouble. Hold on, you must leave War Eagle Nation alive. You must bring people back. Everyone clenched their fists and looked forward to it. Everyone in Arudaya hopes that Levi Garrison can live and bring the 2 back. Other people around the world have different ideas. Most people are looking forward to Levi Garrison's miserable end. The Eagle Nation is super powerful. Levi Garrison's making such a big move in War Eagle Nation is equivalent to provocation. According to the style of the War Eagle Nation, Levi Garrison will never end well. On the Eagle, Levi Garrison and Su Zhenjia were close at hand. Su Zhenjia panicked and shouted, kill him for me. The guard next to him slammed Levi Garrison frantically. But there was an invisible wall of air in front of Levi, blasting them all out. Boom! Puff! Puff! Recently Su Zhenjia was splashed with hot blood. He was dumbfounded. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1766. Let's go. Levi Garrison grabbed his collar and kicked him in the leg. He only heard a click, his leg broke, and he immediately lay on the ground, like a dog. Levi Garrison tied Sujenja and Jefferson together with a rope, dragging them with his left hand, and holding the biming sword in his right hand. Leaving the aircraft carrier step by step. His cold eyes swept over the people who used to be Arudaya. One by one, they fell to the ground in fright, or pissed off in fright. Oh! Crazy! It's none of my business. Li Songkui and the others were even more embarrassed. Seeing Levi Garrison's eyes, they were so scared to crawl, not to mention the embarrassment. Levi Garrison walked like this step by step. Although there are masters around, no one dares to step forward, they can only go around Levi Garrison. Stop! Do you want to take people away like this? Quickly let them go, and I will keep your whole body. Richard's voice sounded. Richard's face was colder than ever. He is going to explode. This is a provocation to everyone, but also a provocation to him. When did he suffer such humiliation? Being so humiliated on his own territory. My brother is dragging like a dog. How does this make him bear? More than that. The circles that know about this are about to explode. This is hitting them in the face. Provocation on their territory. All were blown up. When did anyone dare to provoke them? They have always provoked others. In a word, War Eagle must not be insulted. Kill him. Kill him for me. Who would dare to run wild on our turf? It would be a bad idea. If this person is not eliminated, our face will be lost. All circles, the death order was ordered to kill Levi Garrison. Even when he heard the news, the Tian Shield Bureau issued the order immediately. This person must be eliminated. It must also be eliminated by cruel means. Tell the world that the fate of provoking Warhawks is like this. It turned out that Warhawks not only had to get rid of Levi Garrison, but also warned the world and declared their status. Therefore, the pressure and crises Levi Garrison faced in the War Eagle Nation were greater than imagined. It is absolutely unprecedented. Arudaya also knows this. They also know that no matter who it is impossible to survive from the Eagle Nation single-handedly. No matter how powerful you are, you can't stop the nationwide power of the War Eagle. It's not even just a nation of Warhawks. For a long time, Warhawks have had close ties with many other countries, even alliances. To exaggerate a bit, Levi Garrison wants to fight the power of half the world alone. Leaving alive is the conferred god of the century. Even death is a legend. But hope everyone leaves monarchs alive. On aircraft carriers, quickly gathered tens of thousands of experts, their leaves around monarchs. I'll give you another chance and let them go immediately. Richard was still threatening. Levi Garrison Biming's sword pointed forward and said coldly, "Those who stand in my way, kill. Take it. Remember not to hurt my brother and Mr. Su." Richard gave an order. All major masters killed Levi Garrison. Dead. Levi Garrison was holding the Biming sword, as if he was waving the death sickle. He stepped out step by step, brandishing the North Ming sword in his hand. In the blink of an eye, there were already thousands of knives flickering, murderous. Puff! 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 Shots of blood shot. One body fell down. Levi Garrison's. The footsteps never stopped, dragging the two dogs straight forward. A corpse fell behind him and on both sides. He kills everybody, it's against the sky. No one has ever been close to his 1-meter range. With the swing of the North Ming sword, hundreds of people must fall. Levi Garrison was still advancing, and he was about to get off the aircraft carrier. However, there were fewer and fewer people on Richard's side, and they kept falling down. Levi Garrison's momentum is too strong. With a war knife, it is invincible. Richard saw Levi Garrison's forces and knew why Jefferson was still captured under the heavy siege. Come on, give me all. You must take him down. Request support. The Eagle aircraft carrier requests support. How many forces are all sent? Hurry. We can't stop him. Richard Seed the case immediately requested support. At the same time he sent out all his guards. They each wore modern mechas, each killing Levi Garrison like robots. Puff! Levi Garrison slashed an oncoming mecha warrior, and even the mecha lead was chopped in half. Puff! With another knife, another mecha warrior was chopped in half. Richard was dumbfounded. Although his guards are wearing the first-generation armor, they are all invincible. Can be split in half with a single knife? What is his strength? This couldn't help but make him think of a person Levi Garrison. On the battlefield of the Western Territory, he was so unstoppable. Arudaya is really scary. The master is like a cloud. Richard was stunned. All the tens of thousands of masters on the aircraft carrier fell, and all his guards died. Levi Garrison couldn't stop Levi Garrison's offensive at all. You can't stop me. Levi Garrison dragged the two off the aircraft carrier. Impossible. Now is the beginning. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1767. Richard's complexion was savage, and his veins were violent. His body was shaking sharply, and he was going crazy. Levi Garrison is touching his bottom line. Must die. Although Levi Garrison took people off the aircraft carrier, the crisis really came. All weapon systems of the major frigates of the Eagle were activated, all aimed at Levi Garrison. Had it not been for Sugenja and Jefferson, the bombing would have been frantic long ago. Not only that, there were hundreds of warplanes hovering in the air, and a helicopter, heavy weapons, and a sniper gun were all aimed at Levi Garrison at low altitude. They are all waiting for the opportunity. On the ground, tanks are densely stacked. There are still many tanks, this is their first appearance. Represents the most advanced technology. No one knows what kind of weapons these tanks will fire. It may be a quantum weapon, it may be a laser weapon, or it may be a chemical weapon. These are the trump cards of the Warhawk Nation. It has always been a secret. But in order to stop Levi Garrison, they all took it out. This is about the dignity of the War Eagle. Levi Garrison must die. A large number of warriors emerged from the gaps in the tank array. They have warriors from the East Island, ancient warriors from the West, and a super warrior all appearing. These superpowers are equivalent to the strange people and strangers that Arudaya often said. It is that they have special abilities. For example, you can control water and fire, you can control the wind, and so on. There are generally two types of superpowers. The first is congenital awakening. Born with their own talents, this kind of superpower is extremely powerful. The second one is remodeled the day after tomorrow. They use serum or genetic technology to change your physique and make you powerless, poor, fast as lightning, and even directly bring some talents to control the elements. The most common is to use serum or biotechnology to transform the body to obtain a strong physique. It is also commonly used to implant animal genes in the human body. For example, the gene of a cheetah allows you to gain the speed and pursuit of a cheetah. Implant the genes of a grizzly bear to give you the power of a grizzly bear. So the strength of many superpowers abroad is no less than that of the Eastern warriors. Especially those with strong awakening talents are even more outrageous. In fact, there are legends of these superpowers in popular life, but they disappeared later. That's because once such freaks appear, the relevant agencies will take them away immediately and block the news. Now these superpowers who are living in the legend are flooding at this moment. Mecha fighters also gathered from all directions. There are still many forces, all of them came after receiving the major forces of the Sky Shield and the Warhawk Nation. There are also assassin organizations that specialize in hunting down the supreme-level powerhouses. It's not just Lake City. In all other regions of the Eagle Nation, there are madly influx of experts. Their purpose is only one: to stop Levi Garrison at all costs. Soon, there were no gaps in this area. Either machines or people, all stations are full. The sky also obscured the sky, and it was dark here for a while. Levi Garrison was not given any space or route to leave. This road is nowhere. This road is nowhere. Release, release, release. They. Shouts gathered together, and the sky thunder rolled. The Eagle Nation is really crazy. Take advantage of this matter to give the world a warning. No one can leave War Eagle Nation alive. Levi Garrison's mouth raised. Oh, is it? Then I will be the first. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1768. Richard also put on his exclusive mech, which is one of the top armors in their laboratory. It was much more advanced than the mecha that was split in half by Levi Garrison before. After all, the cost of this mecha is too expensive. The armor that Richard wears is more than 300 million yuan. You don't take the Warhawk Nation too seriously. The Warhawk Nation almost possesses the most advanced technology and the most powerful force in the world. You are provoking the entire Warhawk Nation. Don't say you are an unknown person, even if you are a big one. The gods in the myth of Xia are here, don't even think about going out. Go. They. Earth-shattering battle has begun. Warriors, mech warriors, superpowers, modern warriors, modern weapons, killers, mercenaries. All kill Levi Garrison in one mind. This is not the same as the war dominates the alliance. The domination alliance is a mob. Although the strong are like clouds, they can't exert their power at all. However, the enemies Levi Garrison is currently facing are properly configured and complement each other. In this formation, even an ordinary person can deal Levi Garrison the hardest blow. The war begins. The masters started to kill Levi Garrison from all directions. The first thing they had to do was to distract Levi Garrison's attention. Make him unable to care about each other. In this way, they can rescue people. Boom! A helicopter hovered in mid-air, with infrared rays crisscrossing on the helicopter, aiming at Levi Garrison. Too annoying! Levi Garrison suddenly flashed his eyes. Boom! The Northming sword in his hand was thrown out. Return to Dragon Slash! Levi Garrison shouted. The Northming saber shot out like a cannonball, with a long wave of air behind it, shooting into the air. Swirling like a dragon. So this combat technique is called Hualongzhan. Shit! Baiming's sword surrounded his body, making a sizzling sound, as if it was about to burn. Swipe it out! A helicopter was abruptly split in half, falling to the ground in heavy smoke, making a rumbling sound. Shit! With another stab, another helicopter split and fell. Shit! They. Third plane split. Shit! They. Fourth frame. They. Northming sword turned like a dragon, and one helicopter after another was split in half. 50th. The 100th frame. Helicopters kept falling to the ground, and this area became a sea of flames. On the ground, although the major masters have levels, orderly and coordinated attacks against Levi Garrison. But Levi Garrison could take it anyway. They couldn't save people at all, instead they died and injured a lot. War has been going on. Levi Garrison is simply too strong for one person. No matter how terrifying the fighting power, Levi Garrison can take it, and he is stronger. In a short period of time, he dragged the two of them out of a distance of thousands of meters. Shame! Great shame! Now the whole world is paying attention. Levi Garrison is also swift and fierce, the more shameful it is to War Eagle. In particular, the people of the Warhawks went crazy one by one. They felt a great degree of shame. The fighting lasted an hour later. This area is filled with tens of thousands of corpses. The damage to the helicopter is also extremely serious. Come on, that's it. Levi Garrison opened the way with the beaming sword in his hand. The opponent was scared. Quite a few people started to back down. Come on. Give it to me. Richard yelled. Warhawk must not be insulted. I'll kill him. A shout came. The world rumbling. Senior 7th Heavenly Powerhouse. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1769. At this moment, the major masters of the Eagle Nation stopped their actions. Quietly looking into the distance. There was joy on Richard's face. The 7th Heavenly Powerhouse only exists in the legend. Even before the Covenant of the Gods, the 7th Heavenly Powerhouse is a legend. To say that the strong of the 6 heavens is a hurdle, under the 6 heavens are all ants. Then the 7th Heavenly Power is a qualitative leap for the 6th heaven. A 7th Heavenly Powerhouse can block thousands of 6th Heavenly Powerhouses. The two are not the same. This is the 7th Heaven Powerhouse. At this moment, the world is quiet. Everyone was dumbfounded. The Eagle Nation really does not hesitate at all costs. In order to stop Levi Garrison, the powerhouses of the 7th heaven were dispatched. The visitor wore an ancient medieval armor. He was surrounded by electric lights, making a sizzling sound. Terrible. This is a super person. Innate talent for awakening thunder and lightning, he can control thunder and lightning. For ordinary people, it is a god. So he has the title of Warhawk Thor. Is a big killer of the War Eagle country. He came to kill Levi Garrison himself. Leave me all away. Warhawk Thor gave an order, and everyone immediately gave way to a large blank area. The tall Warhawk Thor approached Levi Garrison step by step. Zilla zilla zilla. The electric lights surrounding him seemed to be angry, making a dazzling light and terrible sound. Dead. Warhawk Thor roared. The sky became extremely dim at this moment, black clouds hit and lightning flashed. Then came the rumbling thunder. Seeing that the Warhawk Thor can really control thunder and lightning, the whole world is silent. It turns out that there are such godlike figures. It's just that you didn't have access to it before, or even imagined it. The Warhawk Thor controls thunder and lightning, which is unstoppable. Dead. He suddenly waved his hand. Shit. In the split to Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison's eyes were cold, and the beaming sword in his hand was swung out. Clang. A knife blocked the lightning. But everyone found that there were gaps in the blade of beaming Jean's sword. Hiss. Everyone gasped. Warhawk Thor is too scary, right? Levi Garrison's treasure knife that cuts iron like mud was cut through a gap. Terror. Kill. 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 Warhawk Thor, like crazy, controlled a wave of lightning to kill Levi Garrison. Clang. 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 Levi Garrison used the beaming sword to block it again and again. Kaka. When it was blocked for the 28th time, beaming's sword was broken. Upon seeing this, the War Eagle Nation and most of the world began to cheer. Sure enough, the 7th Heavenly Powerhouse is too strong. This Arudaya person can't go out anymore. Arudaya was dead silent. No one spoke. But even if Levi was about to die, it is also glory. After all, the force of the whole nation of the Eagle Nation was forced by one person to target it. On the other hand, it also allows the whole world to see the strength of the Eagle Nation. Superpowers are just extraordinary. Whether it is the foundation of ancient martial arts and superpower, or the advanced and powerful modern technology. Do Yayo Domain World. Kill. Levi Garrison no longer defended, holding a short knife to kill the Warhawk Thor. Warhawk Thor looked at Levi Garrison, who was close at hand. He smiled. Looking for death. Rumble. Rumble. Thunder was loud in the sky, and thunder and lightning fell intensively and frequently. Turning this area into a sea of thunder, Levi Garrison is the center. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1770. Kill. Boom. A. Thunder and lightning. Kill. Boom. Another thunder and lightning. Kill. Warhawk Thor roared like crazy. Soon, thousands of thunder and lightning smashed down one after another, as dense as the sea, smashing towards Levi Garrison. Boom, in an instant, the radius of 100 miles turned into scorched earth, and no grass grew. Everyone was stunned by the flash of lightning before them. The Warhawk Thor's trick alone is afraid that hundreds of thousands of troops will be wiped out in an instant. The seventh heavenly powerhouse is really like a god. Today, everyone is an eye-opener. How terrible is the control of the seventh heaven powerhouse? Being like a god. Can Levi Garrison stop it? In an instant, tens of thousands of lightning strikes submerged Levi Garrison. In the center, Levi Garrison shouted, "Block! Block! 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 Block!" What's terrible is that Levi Garrison used his fist to knock down a thunder and lightning, and another thunder and lightning with one fist. One fist. 2 punches. 3 punches. Soon, Levi Garrison has swung tens of thousands of fists, smashing thousands of lightning bolts down. Resist thunder and lightning with a hard body? Unheard of. Jefferson and Su Genja were frightened and passed out. Bang! Levi Garrison's every punch was shocking. The earth trembled, the air wave surged, and the shock wave dissipated even more. Around fighters in the countries strong, they suffer numerous casualties. Bang bang bang! Levi Garrison continued. Smashed all the thunder and lightning with a fist abruptly. He was not injured at all. "It's me!" Levi Garrison roared long. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1771. The right fist blasted out domineeringly, like a heavy artillery. This punch blasted out, pulling out a long white wave of air, like the tail wave of an airplane taking off. A punch that breaks the speed of sound and breaks the sound barrier. Boom! Warhawk Thunder God didn't have time to react, so Levi Garrison hit his chest with a heavy fist. The mask was printed on his retina, and his eyes were full of weirdness. How could this man escape from his thunder and lightning? Bang! In the next second, the body of the Warhawk Thor burst open and turned into blood mist. The shocking scene shocked everyone present. The War Eagle Thor burst open under their noses, a punch and a bloody mist. Levi Garrison is invincible. The Eagle Nation and the whole world were silent at this moment. Strong. Too strong. Seventh Heaven's strongest move did not hurt him at all. Can he fight back? How strong is he? Everyone in Arudaya breathed a sigh of relief. They also thought of one person one after another. Everyone held their breath, and was extremely nervous. After Levi Garrison killed the Warhawk Thor, he dragged the 2 dogs and moved on. "Those who stand against me kill without mercy, kill without mercy." Levi Garrison was like a rainbow. Kill the enemy without leaving a piece of armor. After some interception, no one dared to step forward. They looked at the monster Levi Garrison in horror. He is invincible. They came forward to die. Even Richard was going to be beaten. Levi Garrison destroyed the Domination Alliance in one fell swoop. Later, this mystery made trouble in the Heavenly Palace in the War Eagle Nation, but no one could help him. Soon, Levi Garrison passed through Lake City and walked to the southern border of War Eagle Nation. "Stop him, you must stop him. Whatever it takes." The various circles of the Warhawk Nation were humiliated, and they were all crazy. The whole cards are all out. On a high mountain on the outskirts of Lake City, several figures gathered. Everyone is a seventh heavenly powerhouse. A seventh heaven can't kill you, so what about a lot of seventh heaven experts? This time, the War Eagle Nation really cost it. Invite all these old guys out of the mountain. Although these are the trump cards of the War Eagle Nation, they cannot be used as a last resort. But now is the most dangerous moment for them. If this continues, the Eagle Nation will become a shame, and its status as a superpower in the world will not be maintained. The 4 seventh heavenly powerhouses are already waiting for Levi to come. First, the whole person is in a black mist, and he can't see the main body at all. He is the leader of the killer organization that specializes in hunting the supreme level powerhouses, and the code name is Shadowman. 7th heaven strength, and has the most powerful assassination technique. He can blend with any environmental object. Have hunted and killed 3 powerhouses of the 7th heaven. The second place is a mountain the size of a mountain, with a body more than 2 meters tall, and the whole body is red. He was used by a secret organization to test various drugs and serums since he was a child, and his body mutated later. He is so powerful, his body is impenetrable, and he can't kill monsters at all. Codenamed Dragon. The third place is a man wearing a light mech. He has a speed that is several times the speed of sound. As fast as lightning. Codenamed God of Lightning. The fourth place is a barely dressed blonde with a sweet look. But she is a Western wizard who has awakened superpower in the primitive tribe since she was a child. Possessing supernatural power, claims to be able to control everything. Codenamed Maiko. All 4 of them are national treasures. It is also the real trump card. At this moment, all 4 were dispatched. Just to stop Levi Garrison. It shows the determination of the War Eagle country. Levi Garrison walked all the way. I find that fewer and fewer people are blocking myself. In the end, no one was left. Su Genja, who had just woke up, felt ashamed when seeing this. Was it because I was released by the War Eagle country? Abandoned? In fact, Su Genja knew it in his heart. At this point, the War Eagle Nation is only for reputation, not a question of his value. However, Levi Garrison stopped and shouted to the front, "Come out, I have seen you all." The voice just fell, and 3 figures appeared in front of him. The witch, the dragon, and the god of lightning are 3 people. Only the shadow man disappeared. He is the god of assassination and naturally cannot be exposed. 7th heaven. 3 7 heavens. The world is shocked again. The Eagle Nation is really strong, and can dispatch several 7th heavenly powers at will. This is not available in other countries. Even Arudaya was envious. But what everyone pays more attention to is whether Levi Garrison can block the attacks of the 4 7th heavenly powers. The 3 witches looked at each other and said, "Start." The voice just fell. The witch began to perform her witchcraft. Suddenly, the environment in front of Levi Garrison changed. Alpine forests no longer exist, replaced by endless, surging seas. He was in the center of the storm, unable to stand firm at all. This sudden change in the environment made him extremely uncomfortable. This is the ability of the witch to control everything and change the environment. At the same time, the god of lightning moved. The impact began at a speed exceeding 5 times the speed of sound. What he had to do was to rescue the 2 Jefferson in an instant, and bring the magic dragon to Levi's side. The speed of the lightning god is too fast. In an instant, he brought the magic dragon to Levi Garrison's side, and at the same time took Su Genja and Jefferson away. Boom! The dragon is known for its infinite power, and he claimed to break a mountain with a punch. His strongest force hit Levi Garrison with a punch. At the same time, the Shadow Man appeared from the dark and suddenly assassinated The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1772. The four powerhouses cooperated in a tacit understanding and perfectly connected, and take care of each other to maximize their advantages. Save and kill people in one go. People who followed this battle were all frightened. What a terrible picture is that the four great seven heavenly powerhouses act together. I'm afraid that Levi Garrison is the only one who has this treatment. Warhawk Nation is determined to keep people. These four people are actually the trump cards of the Sky Shield. They all used them. This mysterious person is absolutely desperate. After receiving the news, Messiah, everyone's hearts were chilled. They understand that the Sky Shield Bureau is equivalent to the existence of the Erudaya Bailong clan. Have the strongest combat power. Those hidden secrets and masters are all under their control. They intervene. Who can stop? In the battlefield, the four big and seven heavenly powers joined forces to make a perfect match. First, the witch changes the environment to disturb Levi Garrison. Secondly, the god of lightning sent the magic dragon to Levi Garrison in an instant. The devil dragon killed Levi Garrison with the strongest blow. This trick is absolutely unstoppable. First, the witch has disturbed Levi Garrison. Second, the speed of the lightning god is too fast. These two factors were already destined that Levi Garrison could not hide, and could only accept it. Levi Garrison may not be able to bear the power of the magic dragon to destroy a mountain with one punch. Even if he can bear it, the Shadow Man assassination in the dark has arrived again. You must know that these are the four powerhouses of the seventh heaven, and their skills and strength are far beyond others. This is a mortal game. The magic dragon hit Levi Garrison's chest with a fist, as if the missile exploded, and a mushroom cloud rose around him. The assassination master Shadow Man unexpectedly appeared on top of Levi Garrison's head. Two short blades appeared in his hand, and lightning flashed around him. The two short blades are cast by meteorites from outside the sky, and can penetrate through any hard objects. Boom! The devil dragon was sure that the strongest punch hit Levi Garrison. Puff! Puff! The Shadowman was also convinced that he had inserted two short blades into Levi Garrison's neck. But in an instant the expressions of the two of them changed drastically. Because this was an illusion. Levi Garrison disappeared from their eyes. Disappeared out of thin air. Do not. Shadowman knows that it is speed. Unimaginable speed. Faster than the speed of the god of lightning fled in an instant, creating the illusion that the two of them succeeded. That is the clone that is produced at the extreme speed, and what they hit is the clone. Magic clone. Levi Garrison used the demon clone again. Unlike the past, I didn't lie to everyone this time. The Shadow Man sees the essence. After using the magic shadow clone, Levi Garrison quickly left the center of the battlefield. Boom! When he appeared again, he even caught up with the lightning god who had rescued the two Jeffersons. His speed is faster than the lightning god whose awakening talent is speed. Bang! Puff! Levi Garrison smashed the god of lightning with a punch. Return to Dragon Slash. At the same time, Beiming's sword was thrown out. Shit! Before the witch next to her could react, she was cut through her throat by the half-broken Beiming sword. The moment the witch fell, the environment here has changed. The sea no longer exists and everything is back to normal. But Levi Garrison didn't stop. He appeared behind the devil dragon again, and at the same time, the circling Beiming sword came into Levi Garrison's hand. Puff! Levi Garrison killed the devil dragon with a single knife. The Shadow Man realized the danger and hurriedly left. But Levi Garrison disappeared again. When he appeared again, he was already behind him. Kill! The Shadow Man died. The four great seven heavenly powerhouses are all destroyed. Who can stop me? The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1773. Shocked. Boiling. The Eagle Nation was silent. The whole world is silent. Counting the previous Warhawk Thor, 5 consecutive 7-layer powerhouses have been beheaded by Levi Garrison alone. Especially the last 4 are teaming up. Horrible. Too frightening. The ace of the Sky Shield could not stop Levi Garrison. He is already outrageously strong. Fight against the Eagle Nation alone. May I ask who else? I'm convinced. Richard and others were completely convinced. How can you beat 5 7th heavenly powerhouses in a row? Thousands of troops in time can't stop it at all. All circles of the Eagle Nation were beaten to silence. They were at a loss. Do not know what to do with it. It seems that he is invincible, no one can subdue him. On the outskirts of Lake City, Levi Garrison continued to move forward after beheading the 4 great 7 heavenly powerhouses. On the other side of the mountain, thousands of troops are waiting. Even though they knew Levi Garrison couldn't kill Levi Garrison, they couldn't stop him. But he couldn't just watch Levi Garrison leave. Their only purpose of blocking was to delay time and figure out how to kill or keep Levi Garrison. Go to Shukuge www.shuchuge.co. This time, more experts are involved. The warriors and the superpowers are like crazy to stop Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison dragged the 2 of them, carrying a broken knife and smashing a bloody path. He is too strong. It's totally unstoppable. The whole world was shocked by Levi Garrison's strength. Arudaya is very excited, but I am all curious about who this person is. Is it really the legendary Bailong clan? Or is it from the mysterious forces of Arudaya? However, Messiah and the others have gradually got the answer, and everyone is tacitly aware. Just don't say it. Treat this as a secret. This incident has spread to a wide range, and now even the Bailong clan are beginning to pay attention. Even many ancient forces are ready to move. After all, the 5 7th heavenly powerhouses were all beheaded. Another half-day passed. Levi Garrison beat him all the way. There were countless casualties. Can't stop Levi Garrison's footsteps at all. He was very close to the southern border of the Warhawk Kingdom. Even if there were thousands of troops, they would go to die when they encountered Levi Garrison. Can't stop it. I can't stop a person if I give it all. Shame. The Eagle Nation suffered an unprecedented humiliation. What should I do? In less than 6 hours, he will definitely be able to leave Warhawk Nation. We'll let him leave like this? That would be our greatest shame. We will be laughed at by the whole world. Think of a way, think quickly, way, he must take to stay in the territory of their fighters in the country, not let him leave. Quickly, leaving us running out of time. At this time, the major circle fighters in the country are crazy. It doesn't matter whether Sujenja and Jefferson are alive or dead. But face is important. They were slapped frantically by Levi Garrison, but there was nothing to do. Time passed by every minute. 2 hours passed. There is a way, we have a way. Okay, this method kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Tian Shield finally figured out a method. Truce. Stop the war quickly. They. Tiandeng Bureau gave an order, and all the troops in front of Levi Garrison stopped. Just when Levi Garrison was wondering, several off-road vehicles with armistice flags drove in front of Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison wanted to see what tricks the other party was playing. He didn't do it. The eyes of the world are focused on this. Everyone wants to know what Sky Shield's method is. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1774. A group of men and women in suits and leather shoes got off a few off-road vehicles. Most people are not superpowers or warriors. They are like white-collar workers in shopping malls. The corner of Levi Garrison's mouth raised, and he smiled and asked, "What are you doing?" The headed man and woman approached yet. Levi vigilantly, raising their hands and saying, "Dear sir, please calm down, we are not malicious, we just want to talk to you." "Yes, we want to talk to you, it doesn't make any sense for us to call like this." Levi Garrison sneered, "What is there to talk about? Quickly let the road go and let me take these two people away." "Dear sir, please listen to us. We want you to talk about, want you to make a deal." They looked wary leaf monarchs. "Let's talk about it, what deal?" Levi Garrison was curious. "Sir, we can completely turn fighting into jade, and turn the enemy into friends." "Yes, you have no grievances with us, why are you so desperate?" Levi Garrison smiled, "How to say? Actually, you don't need it. If you are working for the Great Summer, you just join the War Eagle country. We promise to fulfill any conditions you want. For example, if you want to be a king and do whatever you want. As long as you agree to join the War Eagle country, you will achieve whatever you want. For example, further increase in strength. For example, having the most wealth and the highest rights. This man and woman are negotiation experts. Sing and make a peace, if one doesn't pay attention, they will really be tempted by the two. At this time everyone knew what the strategy of the War Eagle nation was. Although I can't stop you, I can let you join. Once agreed, this will kill two birds with one stone. Levi Garrison smiled and said, "Okay, achieve whatever I want." "Yes, as long as you dare to think, we dare to promise. I'm here on behalf of Tian Shield and can meet all your requirements." These people are confident. Full. Levi Garrison looked at several people and said, "That's good. My condition is very simple. Let me be the master of Warhawk Nation. As long as I promise, I will join without hesitation." Boom. They. Words are not astonishing and endless. Everyone was shocked when Levi Garrison said this. His condition turned out to be the entire Warhawk Nation? He should be the master of the Warhawk Nation. Nonsense. Impossible. "Sir, don't be kidding. We are sincere." A few people said coldly. "Nonsense, Lao Tzu is sincere. Didn't you say that all my conditions are met? I brought it up, why am I not satisfied?" Levi Garrison asked back. "Don't deceive others too much, don't fool us on purpose." The members of the Sky Shield Bureau were angry. "If you don't have any sincerity, then get out." Levi Garrison slapped. A terrible invisible force slapped all the people and vehicles of the Sky Shield Bureau. Levi Garrison continued to move forward. The talk collapsed. This completely disrupted the Sky Shield Bureau's plan. I thought that no one would refuse the invitation of the War Eagle Nation. I didn't expect Levi Garrison to offer such a condition. Levi Garrison continued to advance, and the thousands of troops in front continued to stop him. No, it's the last moment. There are still 3 hours. He must have left the War Eagle country. Even if Su Genja and Jefferson are dead, we can't let him leave War Eagle Nation. How to do? Think of a solution, hurry up. Time flies. It was an hour before Levi Garrison left the Kingdom of War Eagle. Hey, it really can't work, you can only use it. What? Use it? Are you crazy? No way, for the current plan, only it can work. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1775. I don't agree. This is terrible. Yes, this is crazy. I don't agree. Once we use it, we will bear too much responsibility. Since it was launched, no one in the world has I have used it. If we want to use it, it will be the first one to use it against the whole world. Do you know how much guilt we have to bear? After someone proposed to use it, most human opposition. As if this is a taboo. Then what do you say? In less than an hour, he will leave Warhawk Nation. At that time we will become the world's biggest joke, a superpower cannot stop even one person. We will enter the Empire's book of shame. We will all be sinners of the Empire. Roared the person who suggested. At this time, everyone was silent. Now it is a great shame. Levi Garrison rubbed the War Eagle on the ground alone, and the War Eagle had no dignity. Hurry up and make a decision. This time, it's not even an hour. The person urged. Okay, I agree to use it. I agree too. I agree too. After weighing the pros and cons, all members agreed to use it. But there is a problem. We can use it, but not in the name of the Sky Shield, nor in the name of the Eagle Nation, said the person. What about it? Someone asked below. Let Richard and the others use it as a laboratory. After all, this person took Richard's brother. We can attribute this incident to Richard and his personal grievances. All the responsibility for the accident lies with Lee. Chad is responsible for it alone. Okay, this method is good. And yes, immediately notify Richard. Let him do it. When Richard received the news, he was taken aback. What? Do you really want to use it? Richard asked in surprise. Yes, it's still used in the name of the laboratory behind you. At this point, it's time for you to contribute to the Empire, and you can't refuse. This is what everyone meant. A representative of the Sky Shield Bureau said. Richard thought of something, and exclaimed, then what about my brother? Once you use it, my brother will die too. It's all about this time, let's take the Empire's reputation as the main thing. Don't worry, your brother is also for the Empire. Sacrifice. The Empire will remember him. Richard hesitated for a full minute. In the end, he agreed. Okay, I will contact the laboratory immediately. Time is running out. Richard had no time to think. Hastily contacted the laboratory behind. Soon, the laboratory agreed. And it is provided by the laboratory, without the need for Tien Shield. In this way, the relationship can be completely separated and everything can be attributed to Richard. There are still 40 minutes before he leaves the territory of the Warhawk Nation. Our weapons and equipment will be in place within 15 minutes. Time passed by. There were only 25 minutes left before Levi Garrison left the territory of War Eagle Nation. To the south is an endless desert. Levi Garrison dragged the two to walk. There was no one blocking him. From the perspective of the whole world, the Eagle Nation has given up. But smart people know that the Eagle Nation definitely has a fallback. But I don't know what it is. The weapon is installed, the target has been locked, and it can be launched at any time. Richard Labs issued a message. What they say is the strongest weapon in this laboratory, the Scepter of God. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1776. This is the strongest weapon created by the mysterious laboratory behind Richard and the Sky Shield. This weapon represents destruction. No one knows exactly what this weapon is. Is it an electromagnetic railgun, a laser, or a biological weapon? No one knows at all. But everyone who knows the Scepter of God understands that it represents a disaster of destruction. Once used, it is absolutely devastating. No defense can stop the Scepter of God. Unlike Su Zhenjia's God-killing weapon, the God-killing weapon is actually a small-range attack, specifically aimed at martial artists. But the Scepter of God is a range attack. Once used in a certain area, everything will be destroyed directly. The name God's Scepter has a very simple meaning, indicating that this weapon is like a punishment from God. The power is evident. This is definitely the secret laboratory, and even the weapon at the bottom of the shield. So I won't use it anyway. The main weapon is equivalent to the real trump card of the Warhawk Nation. If we expose the trump card prematurely, it must be known to the whole world. There will be no secrets about the scepter of God. It won't work anymore. But now Levi Garrison forced the entire War Eagle nation to this point. Let the Sky Shield Bureau decide to use the scepter of God to deal with Levi Garrison. For the reputation of the War Eagle. They did it. At this moment, countless people in War Eagle Nation are paying attention to Levi Garrison. He is getting closer and closer to the border. Time is passing fast. 20 minutes. Levi Garrison dragged the two to walk in the desert. Now that there is no one to stop him, Levi Garrison naturally knows that things are not easy. The Eagle Nation will not let him go. Will not let him leave easily. A great danger awaits him ahead. At this time passed very slowly every minute, and everyone was so nervous that they were sweating. The attack point has been set, and the target will reach the designated attack point in 6 minutes and 32 seconds. The weapon is reconfirmed. There is no problem. Everything is ready. Richard in the laboratory installed everything, arranged the attack point and time properly. Quietly waiting for the time to come. Almost everyone was sweating and their bodies trembling. This is the first use of the scepter of God. Everyone was excited and nervous. At this time, both Sujenja and Jefferson, who were dragged by Levi Garrison, had already woke up. Sujenja also knew the identity of Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison, I admit that you are a ruthless person. You hit the War Eagle country alone. But I promise you, we'll never leave the War Eagle country. Sujenja stared at Levi Garrison. Jefferson also agreed, yes, that's right. You can't get out of here. My brother will absolutely not allow it. Levi Garrison thought of something, not only smiled, now they are afraid that they want to kill me, if you die, you won't be alive. Sujenja and Jefferson realized something, not only were they sweating, but their bodies were shaking. Correct. At this kind of moment, Levi Garrison would be stopped at all costs. They are not important anymore. Especially Sujenja, even more worthless. But Levi Garrison, I was so excited to see you die. It doesn't matter. Ha ha ha, Sujenja looked at Levi Garrison with a crazy laugh. He is a complete lunatic. Jefferson's body was trembling with fear. 5 minutes. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. A base has been counting down time. Everyone's nerves were so tense that they were about to explode. 32 seconds. 3. 2. 1. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1777. The time has come for the purpose of all people. This Bikugu.me is the first appearance of the scepter of God. The world will witness the amazing power of God's scepter. Holding the firing button of the God's scepter weapon, Richard was already nervous to the point that his whole body was wet with cold sweat. Especially in the base, hundreds of people were staring at him nervously. Goodbye, brother! Richard yelled and pressed the button fiercely. At the same time, he sat down on the ground with a plop. At this moment, the entire base seemed to be relieved, and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. It's finally this moment. In the various circles of the Warhawk Nation, everyone clenched their fists tightly, waiting for the emergence of the scepter of God. 1 second. 2 seconds. But more than 10 seconds have passed. There was no movement at all. The scepter of God is not in place at all. Everyone thought they were in a trance. But dozens of seconds passed, and there was still no movement. What's the situation? What's the situation? Tell me quickly, what's the matter? This kind of voice came from all the circles of the Warhawk Nation. The base responsible for the launch of God's scepter weapon was even more dumbfounded. After Richard pressed the button, the scepter of God didn't fire at all. What's the matter? Everyone was stunned at first. But then they reacted one by one. Everyone exclaimed again and again. Richard on the ground got up and roared, "What? The weapon was not fired? What's the matter? Check it out. Check it out for me." The whole base was chaotic. Various voices were heard everywhere. All technicians checked immediately. No, the weapon launch system is malfunctioning. So the launch was not successful. The reason was quickly found out. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1778. Coming. Repair, quickly repair. How long will it take to repair? Richard quickly shouted. It will take more than 20 minutes at the earliest. We will try our best. The technicians began to repair frantically. No one expected this. At the most critical moment, such a problem would happen. In the crucial 20 minutes, Levi Garrison had already left War Eagle Nation. Can't let the scepter of God bloom on the land of other countries, right? There was dead silence in the entire base. Richard was even more angry and hit the table. But after he turned around, a successful smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. It turned out that the launch system malfunctioned and he arranged it alone. The purpose is simple: he doesn't want the scepter of God to be launched, and he doesn't want his brother Jefferson to die. Richard is a man who cares for his shortcomings and loves his brother very much. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made so many crazy moves before. Now that he kills his own brother himself, he can't do it. In his opinion, the reputation of the War Eagle is not as important as the fate of his brother. Today, the humiliation that Arudaya Master brought to the War Eagle, he can completely repay it if he finds a chance in the future. His brother died, but he was gone forever. The scepter of God failed to launch successfully. It means that the Eagle Nation has completely failed to block Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison dragged the two to the border. He smiled and said, "Why do you want to kill me? You?" Sujenja and Jefferson didn't expect Levi Garrison to leave so easily. "Let's go, come back to Arudaya with me and get the punishment you deserve." Levi Garrison took the two of them out of the boundary of War Eagle Nation. Subsequently, Levi Garrison inserted half of the North Ming war saber on the border of the War Eagle Nation. The meaning is very obvious. Take the knife as proof. I, Levi Garrison, once entered the War Eagle country and took away 2 people. But this is a great shame for the War Eagle. Many masters came to the border of the War Eagle country. See the North Ming sword inserted in the ground. It stings their eyes like a blazing sun. This knife is stuck in their dignity. It's a shame for them. Ah! One person shouted wildly, and was about to pull out the North Ming sword. Hold on! The leader stopped him. This knife can't be pulled. Always stick it here. This is the shame the enemy has brought us. It reminds us of this all the time. Everyone on the scene looked at the Baiming saber with red faces. Everyone clenched their fists. Silence. The entire Warhawk Nation was silent. They almost took out everything, but they still couldn't stop Levi Garrison. At the last moment, Richard's small actions prevented God's scepter from launching successfully. Let Levi Garrison leave completely. When Levi Garrison stepped out of the border, the whole world was full of doubts. The Eagle Nation just let Levi Garrison leave? Impossible. No reason. But the facts are here. He left. The circles of the Warhawk Nation have exploded. Shame. Today, the most shameful. Arudaya, this Liangzi is completely knotted. Many people clenched their fists and looked crazy. Richard also clenched his fist. Brother, I will save you again. And Arudaya, I won't let it go. He believed that even if it was Arudaya, he would not die. His plan was achieved. After learning the news, Arudaya was completely boiling. The first is to completely defeat the Domination Alliance. Now the mysterious master single-handedly took away the 2 in the Eagle Nation. All show the power of Arudaya. Arudaya is not afraid of anyone. The sleeping dragon has gradually awakened, who can be the enemy? Now Arudaya is showing a superpower, not afraid of anything. In this way, the rich celebrities who had escaped from Arudaya before, etc. were completely dumbfounded. After desperately leaving at the beginning, who knew that the crisis would be resolved soon, and it would show such a strong side? Who can think of this situation now? Arudaya is the best. It's difficult to go back now, after all, everyone has left their nationality. The most difficult thing is the Arudaya people who fled to the War Eagle country. In the beginning, Sujenja wanted to be a king, and he would almost have a face to solicit everything. But now Sujenja was taken away, and everything about them fell apart. Especially Li Wenhai, Zhang Wentao, and the others were completely dumbfounded. They could have become masters. Everything was gone in an instant. They still watched as they were deprived of everything. Li Wenhai, Li Wenfei, and his party returned to the manor. They turned on the TV and were watching the latest situation. At this time, Zhao Junfei suddenly changed her face because she saw a terrible news. After Levi Garrison took away the two Jeffersons, the Eagle Nation was furious. In a fit of anger, the Warhawk Nation issued a message: these people and Warhawks who used to have Arudaya nationality will be expelled from the Warhawk Nation after all property and deprivation of their status. The list of people to be expelled will be announced soon. Concubine Zhao Jun quickly saw her name on it. The big thing is not good, look at the news. Concubine Zhao Jun reminded. What? Everyone started to check the list. Everyone present saw their name on the list. The Eagle Nation wants to confiscate all their property and expel them. In an instant, they were equivalent to being driven out of the leftover pants, dumbfounded. Li Zhao's family and these people are ashamed. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1779. In any case, I did not expect to experience great ups and downs in one day. They, who were originally masters, will actually fall to this point. Ding! 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 Everyone's mobile phones sounded at the same time. After opening, there are shocking text messages. All the assets in their overseas accounts have been emptied. And even invisible assets, such as villas, manor cars, etc. have all been deprived. In an instant, all of them had nothing. Except for the clothes you wear. Even where they live is on the deprivation liquidation list. At the same time, they were expelled from their nationality by the War Eagle Nation. They will have no identity. Including their names are also invalid. No region or country in the world has basic information about them. They are like wandering savages. Not even a beggar. Most beggars still have identities at least. They are not there. I. Li Wenfei's eyes went dark and he fainted directly. Why? Why is all this? We didn't do anything wrong. Why did you do this to us? I don't accept it, I want to appeal. All kinds of complaints are everywhere, and everyone is crazy. There are still terrible scenes in the streets. These traitors who were once Arudaya are now driven out of the War Eagle Nation after being deprived of everything. Those who are reluctant will be beaten severely. Was forcibly driven out of the War Eagle country. What is even more frightening is that once they stepped out of the War Eagle Nation, they would become unidentified people. At that time, every region did not accept them. It is impossible for them to return to Arudaya. It is impossible to go to other places. No one wants it at all. The only value is to be coolie. It is said that there are many human trafficker groups outside of Warhawk who are waiting to take in these people. Once taken away by them, what is the end? Everyone knows it well. Da-da-da. Soon, a rush of footsteps sounded. Many people rushed in from outside. From now on you will no longer be members of the War Eagle Nation, and your identity has been deprived. From now on you leave the War Eagle Nation. You are not welcome here. Immediately, immediately. As soon as the opponent enters the door, he will force it. Deport all owners of Lopez and Black's family. No, sir, you are misunderstood. We are from the Arudaya Li family and Zhao family, and we have a close relationship with Mr. Su Zhenjia. Yes, and our stay is definitely useful for the War Eagle Nation. Are you afraid that it is a misunderstanding? We can't be expelled. Everyone began to argue. It's you. We didn't misunderstand. Get out. How can you, a group of maggots, be able to treat the Holy Land like the Eagle Nation? The other party's attitude became more and more tough. I ask you, why do you deprive and freeze all our assets? Give me a reason. Li Songkui stood up. Zhang Wentao echoed, yes, that's right. You invited you to join the nationality of the Eagle Nation. Or you personally sent a plane to pick it up. How can we remove our status casually? The reason? Yes, you are too unreasonable. You can drive us away, but why deprive us of our assets? What rights do you have? Zhao Junfei and Li Menjiu stood up one by one. Just like before, reason with people in Arudaya. But they forgot. This is not Arudaya. They have no reason. Reason? This is the reason. Call me. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1780. This group of people started the fight without saying a word. Although the people of Lopez and Black's family are now martial artists, they have used a lot of natural treasures. But the Eagle Nation specifically sent a master against them. As soon as the fight started, people like Lopez and Black's family could not take any advantage at all. Finally was beaten up. Everyone was beaten with bruised nose and swollen face. Like dead dogs being dragged into the car. There are big trucks parked here. It was filled with people pretending to be expelled. A few hours later, these people were transported to the border. Then, as if taking out the garbage, all these people were dumped. Li Wenhai and his party are among them. You dare to step in and throw all of you into the sea, someone warned on the border. Li Wenhai and the others looked at the endless desert. They are lost. I don't know where to go. Now they are penniless. They have no identity. They can't go anywhere. It is the black household among the black households. It's comparable to a wild man. But just half a day ago, they were masters. I regret it. I shouldn't have left Arudaya in the first place. I'm a brain disabled. Why should I leave Arudaya? Arudaya is so great. Yes, how can I compare to Arudaya? We are just sick. More and more people knelt on the ground regretting it and weeping bitterly. Everyone in Lopez and Black's family also cried silently. Regret. Regret dead. We are just a bunch of fools. Why don't you listen to the old man's words? I regret it. Give me another chance, I will never leave Arudaya. Parents, I miss you. The Eagle Nation is not good at all. Arudaya is the most good. And concubine Zhaojun, Li Menjiu, Li Wenhai, Li Songkui and Zhang Wentao knelt on the ground one by one, regretting crying. This is the darkest and helpless moment in their lives. Next they will face the most difficult moment. Run, wow! Suddenly, there were waves of restlessness in the crowd. Someone came to capture them. People with no status like them are best suited to be caught back as coolies. Escape, escape! A group of people, like prey, began to flee in no man's land. However, this is only a portrayal of some people. Today, such a scene was staged on the borders of the War Eagle Nation. Levi Garrison took the two away and brought too much shame to the War Eagle. They can only use it to vent. Of course, the Arudaya people and Warhawks dare not move. These are Arudaya people. All they dared to move were like Li Songkui, who had escaped from Arudaya nationality. The equivalent of their own people. They do whatever they want. The eastern border of Great Xia. A private helicopter landed. One person came down from the plane, it was Levi Garrison. He dragged the two of them. Su Zhenjia and Jefferson. Xiao Feng and a large group of people greeted Levi Garrison's arrival. Although Levi Garrison was still wearing a mask, everyone knew his identity. Jefferson will be locked up wherever he should be. Keep going to jail. Levi Garrison ordered. Understood. Take away people. Xiao Feng waved, and Jefferson was taken away immediately. His face was ashes. Arudaya he can't do without. Levi Garrison looked at Su Zhenjia again, and he said coldly, Su Zhenjia has nothing to say, just kill. Wait. Can't kill, he can't kill. He is now our people, you can't move. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1781. Exclamations rang out. A few men and women in suits and leather shoes rushed up immediately and stopped in front of Levi. From now on, Su Zhenjia is ours. No one can move. The leading woman stared at Levi Garrison fiercely. Levi Garrison was stunned. These ordinary people still stop him? Who are you? Xiao Feng's expression changed, and he explained, Master, they belong to the Shenlong Science and Technology Alliance. They are responsible for the laboratory of Arudaya's most advanced technological weapons. It is the strongest in Arudaya. This they also surfaced this time. This is the Dragon Technology Alliance, Miss Wen Lei, the youngest female scientist in Arudaya. She and the team have just developed a super weapon. It's extremely terrifying. Xiao Feng gathered Levi Garrison's ear, whispered, don't look like an ordinary person. She's delicious. She's amazing. Levi Garrison was taken aback after hearing the words. Since the appearance of Su Zhenjia's killing weapon, no one in the world dares to despise these ordinary people. Levi Garrison is too. These ordinary people will explode with great energy in unexpected ways. There may even be such a situation. For example, dominating the alliance of hundreds of thousands of warriors, the latter may be an ordinary person. In a word, a single resourcefulness can kill hundreds of thousands of warriors. In Wen Lei's view, most warriors are reckless. So she doesn't have a lot of affection for Levi Garrison. Now let me know, Su Zhenjia, we have taken it away. From today, he will belong to the Shenlong Science and Technology Alliance. Wen Lei said in a superior tone. Xiao Feng said nothing. Apparently someone said hello. Su Zhenjia lying on the ground looked at Levi Garrison, and he grinned. The provocation is obvious. As if provoking Levi Garrison, he said, even if you bring me to Arudaya, you can't kill me. If there is no objection, we will take them away and the procedures have been completed. Wen Lei said. The people behind her are about to take Su Zhenjia away. Give me a reason. When Wen Lei and the others were about to take Su Zhenjia away, Levi Garrison's voice sounded. Everyone looked at Levi Garrison. I brought the man from War Eagle Nation. His life is mine. I should have killed him long ago, but I want him to commit crimes in Arudaya. Levi Garrison questioned. Wen Lei was taken aback and looked straight at Levi Garrison, you are indeed Arudaya's hero. I admire you for this. But please also consider from the overall situation. How to consider? Levi Garrison asked. Su Zhenjia's sins are horrendous, and death sins are not fake. But he is a genius in a million. It would be a shame to kill directly. If his talent can be used for us to serve Arudaya, I think it is. It's better than just killing him. Moreover, I believe Su Zhenjia also has a heart to repent. He recognizes his mistakes and will work for Arudaya. Just after Wen Lei finished speaking, Su Zhenjia's voice immediately sounded, yes, That's right. I am deeply aware of my mistakes. I now ask for a chance to regret. I want to work for Arudaya, and I am willing to share everything I have with you. In the eyes of others, Su Zhenjia admits his mistakes positive and very sincere. Just ask for an opportunity to make up. But Levi Garrison knew how fake this kid was. He just wants to survive. All you have other questions? Wen Lei asked. Levi Garrison shook his head, I'm fine, I just will kill him. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1782. Levi Garrison's tone was calm. Everyone at the scene knew that he would kill Su Zhenjia. Su Zhenjia understood even more. Save me! Save me! I already knew that I was wrong, and I will do everything to make up for it. Su Zhenjia quickly hid behind Wen Lei and the others. Wen Lei opened her arms and stood in front of Levi Garrison. If you want to kill him, kill me first and step over my corpse. Wen Lei closed her eyes, her body trembling. Calm down, you, Su Zhenjia's value is too great. It's a shame to kill. Let's do it, wait for him to play his due value before letting you deal with it. Don't do it. People around are anxious, for fear that Levi Garrison will actually do it. This is the value of Su Zhenjia. Even if he is sinful. But in this case, many people still don't want him to die. I want him to shine and play his value. Seeing that Levi Garrison slapped Wen Lei with a slap. All people have a cardiac arrest and are about to suffocate. In the end, Levi Garrison slapped and did not fall. Wen Lei opened her eyes in fear and looked at Levi Garrison blankly. Levi Garrison said coldly, Are you sure you want to take him away? I'm sure. Do you expect him to work for Arudaya and count on his talent? This man is sinister and cunning. If you don't kill him, it will always be a danger. Exist. Once he plans, it will be endless disasters. Do you understand? Levi Garrison reminded. The throats of Xiao Feng and others squirmed. Su Zhenjia is a genius. How terrible is the person who can study the weapon of killing God? It's a walking explosive. As long as he joins the Shenlong Science and Technology Alliance, we will be responsible for everything that happens. Besides, I have seen The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1783. To his remorse. He will definitely repent, like something dangerous, it will never exist. The others immediately promised. Wen Lei wanted to say something, but she abruptly held back. She also seemed to agree with Levi Garrison's statement a little bit. Well, let's take it away. Don't let me see again, I will kill you. You people don't find me if something goes wrong. Levi approached. He didn't care. Su Zhenjia killed him if he wanted to. He could bring it back from the War Eagle Nation. If this group of people doesn't listen to persuasion, then leave it to them. It doesn't matter to him. Su Zhenjia smiled and passed it. Give Levi Garrison an arrogant look. It means to wait and see. In the end, the Dragon Technology Alliance took Su Zhenjia away. But Wen Lei was not very relieved. She suggested that Su Zhenjia should be strictly watched in the future and everything should be restricted to prevent Su Zhenjia from secretly engaging in it. Move, create danger. Miss Wen, you definitely have to worry too much. Mr. Su will definitely repent. I can see it. Furthermore, we saved him and gave him good terms. How could he harm us? Others immediately objected. Wen Lei didn't say anything. It's just that Su Zhenjia in the car swept a crazy arc of his mouth. Master, where are you going next? Xiao Wind asked. Of course, is to look at Sublavilia and guide them. Levi Garrison smiled. Mother and them are still in Wushuan City. Fu Kaiyu Feng is only a 5-layer heaven, so he still needs to guide Lavilia. He is really whimsical. Xiao Feng said casually. Now Levi Garrison even kills the 7th heavenly powerhouse if he wants to kill him, and Fu Kaiyu Feng is a fart. Levi Garrison immediately went to see Zoe Niang. But at this time something happened that Levi Garrison didn't expect. That is, the Beilong clan wants to eliminate the crooked ways that joined the Domination Alliance before. They would have cleared it a long time ago. It was just that Levi Garrison went to War Eagle to lead people, so it was postponed. Now they are going to take these people one by one. Including those who surrendered to Levi Garrison before and relieved the danger of the capital are among them. But Levi Garrison didn't know. He is now on his way to Wushuan City. Come this way. The most obvious feeling is that the strong have increased. Although they were hiding better, Levi Garrison could feel their powerful aura, which was different from ordinary people. In Levi Garrison's eyes, it seemed to shine like a scorching sun, which was easy to distinguish. Soon, Levi Garrison came to Wushuan City. Wushuan City is still naively cultivating Lavilia and Zoe as the future. Little did they know that Levi Garrison, the 6th heavenly powerhouse with hands and eyes open to the sky, was already tired of killing. Even Levi Garrison, the 7th heavenly powerhouse, was able to kill consecutively. After Levi Garrison arrived, Wushuan City did not stop him and let him enter. The city lord said, "You haven't seen Lavilia for a long time. Let you stay 2 more days this time." Levi Garrison shook his head, "No, I'm here to take them away this time." "Hey? What do you mean?" "They." Wushuan City guard's complexion changed, and he looked at Levi Garrison suspiciously. "Tell Fu Kaiyu Feng that I'm here to take people home today. Fu Kaiyu Feng and the others are too young, I have to take Lavilia back. You can only teach you the basics of Lavilia after all," Levi Garrison said. The faces of a few people on the opposite side changed wildly. Several people hurried to report the news. Soon after, the entire Wushuan City people surrounded Levi Garrison in 3 and 3 layers. Fu Kaiyu Feng even brought other people here. Zoe, Lavilia, a few people saw Levi. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1784. Pro is still very excited. After all, they all knew that Levi Garrison had gone to fight, but there was no news. However, Fu Kaiyu Feng stopped a few people. "Wait. I have something to tell him." Fu Kaiyu Feng looked at Levi Garrison and asked, "What? Are you going to take them away?" "Yes. Wushuan City is a small sect after all, your strength is too weak. He is not qualified to train Lavilia at all," Levi Garrison said. The whole Wushuan City was angry. There were angry voices everywhere, and everyone with blushing and thick necks wanted to teach Levi a lesson. Fu Kaiyu Feng and several elders were also angry. Wushuan City is a small school? It's ridiculous. Are they weak? Fu Kaiyu Feng's 5 heavenly powerhouse is definitely the overlord. Levi Garrison ignored the anger of the people, and said lightly, "Of course I am not an ungrateful person. No matter how you say you have paid for Lavilia. Let's do this. I, Levi Garrison, owe you a favor. You will encounter any difficulties in the future. You can come to me for everything and problems. If you let others know about Levi Garrison's promise, you will definitely be crazy. One of his promises is simply too big. Did he kill tens of thousands of powerhouses in the 5th heaven? One of his promises is unimaginable. But in the eyes of everyone in Wushuan City, his promise was worthless. Go away, what good is it for us to find you if we are in trouble? You are purely sick." Levi Garrison's simple words completely angered everyone in Wushuan City. "I will take the people away now. Since then, I have no relationship with you, Wushuan City. But my promise has always been in effect." After speaking, Fu Kaiyu Feng was completely angry. "I will see how you are going to take people away today." "Yes. Don't even want to take someone away. Wushuan City is not your turn to speak. Everyone in Wushuan City was tough. They are strong like clouds, how can they be afraid of a Levi coming? Levi Garrison smiled. Like these in Wushuan City, Levi Garrison didn't know how many killed during this period. Too weak. It's no different from ordinary people who don't have the power to bind chickens. It's the same as killing a chicken. Lavilia, Dad will take you home. Levi Garrison stepped forward and picked Lavilia, pulling Zoe and Joan and Yan to leave. You get out of the way, I think he dares to take a step out of Wushuan City. Fu Kaiyu Feng said angrily. When everyone heard the words, they automatically let go. Levi Garrison didn't care, leading the three of them to move on. If the three of you dare to step out of the Wushuan City gate, you will never come back again. Fu Qiu shouted with anger. He believed that Zoe did not want to leave. After all, this is a great opportunity. He believed that no one would refuse. However, Levi Garrison didn't give them a chance to stop, and left with a few people. Seeing a few people leave Wushuan City, Fu Kaiyu Feng was dumbfounded. Really gone? What does the city lord do now? The others asked. Yes, if this monarch leaves Wushuan City, our future will be completely gone. If other forces take it away, it is really unimaginable. Fu Kaiyu Feng looked uncomfortable after eating the flies. He immediately ordered, chase me quickly. Be sure to catch people back. Now. He was cruel, and even everyone would catch Lavilia back. When the masters of Wushuan City were about to go out to catch Lavilia, they suddenly thundered. There are several figures falling from the sky, standing on the city wall. It was Xiao Feng and the others. Feeling the powerful aura of Xiao Feng and others, everyone in Wushuan City was taken aback. Fu Kaiyu Feng exclaimed, Are you Xiao Feng? The name of the person, the shadow of the tree, Xiao Feng is famous in the Battle Domination Alliance. Who doesn't know? You are really brave. Which daughter dare you to catch? Xiao Feng said coldly. Why? Still say. Fu Kaiyu Feng realized that something was wrong. I ask you, who dominated the alliance some time ago defeated? Although it was the Beilong clan that made the move in the end, the main record is still that amazing. Soldier. Fu Kaiyu Feng answered honestly. Recently, a master of Great Xia went to War Eagle Nation to bring Su Zhenjia back, and knew about even the 7th Heavenly Powerhouse, right? I know. Even the 7th Heavenly Powerhouse is unimaginable. Fu Kaiyu Feng sucked in cold mouth. Gas. Xiao Feng said with a proud face, then I tell you that these two things were done by one person at all. And the person who was just in front of you, that is, my master Levi Garrison. The words are not astonishing and endless. As soon as Xiao Feng said this, the whole Wushuan City was deadly silent. Everyone was dumbfounded. The man who turned the tide is actually Lavilia's father. That ordinary person? It turns out that he has been so arrogant, has always looked down on Wushuan City, and has always mocked them for being weak. In front of the strong who slaughtered the 7th heaven in a row, they were just as weak as ants. He was right, Lavilia sent them here to lay the foundation. Puff! Fu Kaiyu Feng directly fell to his knees. The others broke out in a cold sweat, scared to death. They even wanted to kill him. How could they come up with such an idea? Zoe, who had left Wushuan City, began to worry. You said Wushuan City won't chase it, right? The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1785. Levi Garrison was about to speak, but saw a lot of people running behind. Headed by it was Fu Kaiyu Feng. He brought a large number of people and followed Levi to them. Levi Garrison frowned. I began to bury the injustice that Xiao Feng did not do well, even this little thing could not be handled well. Zoe and the others were frightened when they saw a large group of people coming. Ah! When They were about to scream, they didn't want to move Fu Kaiyufeng, but they cried out. Looking at Levi Garrison, everyone seemed to see a ghost. Fu Kaiyufeng led everyone to change directions immediately and ran to the nearby mountains and forests. It turned out that Fu Kaiyufeng and the others weren't here to chase Levi Garrison. Instead, go to the cemetery of the old city lord to check. In order to prove who saved Lavilia in the hands of the Black God sect at the beginning. They are so strange, didn't they come to chase us? Zoe and the others expressed deep doubts about Fu Kaiyufeng's behavior. After Fu Kaiyufeng and the others came to the tomb of the old city lord, they immediately asked them to open the tomb. After seeing the mummy in the coffin, everyone understood. There is no old town owner at all. The old city lord is long dead. It was Levi Garrison who rescued Lavilia back, and he was also the one who destroyed the Black God sect. He said it at the beginning, but no one believed it. Everyone attributed all this to the shot of the old city lord. By the way, did Master Ye say to help us once? Fu Kaiyufeng asked. Exactly. We must cherish this opportunity. It turned out to be his daughter, otherwise, where would such a high talent come from? Levi Garrison took the three of them back to Jiangbei's home. The grandparents were naturally happy to see Lavilia. After hearing that Lavilia left Wushuan City, this made Li Wenyuan was dissatisfied with them. Forget it, it's better to see Lavilia every day than to go to any Wushuan City. Zhao Yelan and Emma hugged Lavilia tightly. For these ordinary people, family reunion is the most important thing. In particular, some time ago, the national disaster was at the forefront. Everyone was used to seeing parting, and they understood the importance of family affection. Especially Lopez and Black's family ran away many people. The three old people miss Lavilia very much. So even if Levi Garrison brought Lavilia back, they didn't say anything. What? The uncle and the uncle have all gone to War Eagle Nation. Zoe was taken aback when he knew this. Levi Garrison smiled helplessly. He also saw them in the Eagle Nation with his own eyes. By the way, the news just came that the War Eagle Nation expelled many people from Arudaya. Let this group of people run outside, now it's all right, deserve it. Li Wenyuan cursed. Apparently news of these people's deportation has spread all over the world. Ah? Is it so miserable? Zoe asked. Yeah, it comes down to Arudaya's mysterious master, who entered the War Eagle Nation alone and brought Su Genja back. It completely angered the War Eagle Nation. Only then made such an act of revenge. Li Wenyuan explained. And I heard that the mysterious master was sent by the Beilong clan. The Beilong clan is really strong. Enough, with them, Arudaya must be stable. At this time, there was a sound of footsteps outside. It turned out that it was the old lady of the Li family and Li Tianhao who came. As soon as they entered the door, they came directly at Levi Garrison. What happened to grandparents? Zoe asked. Not those unfilial sons. They were expelled from the War Eagle country, deprived of their identity and property, and now abandoned to the wilderness. Aren't we here to find King's Landing to pick them up and restore their status? The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1786. Several people stated their purpose. Everyone was astonished. It turned out that they wanted Levi Garrison to pick up those people back and restore them to Arudaya nationality and identity by the way. No matter how several old men scolded them. No matter how they betrayed their ancestors. But once something happens, how can they rest assured that their daughter is suffering outside? But they want to save it now and it is difficult to save it. First, in the current special period, you can't leave Arudaya. Secondly, Li Wenfei, Li Wenhai and the others have no identity at all, and they cannot enter Arudaya. Now even the warrior is no exception. Because of the emergence of the Beilong clan and the victory of the war to dominate the alliance. Now the warriors can't be unscrupulous. You have to listen to Messiah's orders. Even if they want to take it back, based on these 2 points, there is nothing they can do. I just heard Levi Garrison coming back. They hurriedly came to Levi Garrison. According to Levi Garrison's identity, picking up people and restoring his identity is his one-word matter. It's too simple. They are indeed betraying Arudaya, betraying their ancestors. But when we are parents and grandparents, can we watch them die away from home? We decided to take them all back. We will be scolded if we are scolded, this it's nothing. Levi, we came to you specially, just want you to pick up people. Yes, you just need to take people back, and then restore Arudaya nationality to them. Old for the first time in the past 2 years, his wife and them were so polite to Levi Garrison. Are they leaving Arudaya nationality? Levi Garrison asked. Well, these unfilial sons thought that Arudaya was going to perish at the beginning, and all ran away one by one, and they were not obedient. Wu Mulan cried. Levi Garrison smiled, then they are all adults, right? Yes, what's the matter? Li Tianhao replied subconsciously. Since you are an adult, you have to be responsible for your actions. I believe that betraying Arudaya is definitely not their impulse. After leaving Arudaya, whether it is good or bad, they will bear it all by themselves. Levi Garrison earnestly said. Hey! You, what do you mean? Only then did a few people react. What I mean is very simple. I won't go. Since they have left Arudaya, they will never come back. I will also give orders no one who left Arudaya at the time will come back. No accommodation is allowed. Levi Garrison the attitude was firm, so that everyone present was taken aback. Dare you, the old lady shouted. Why don't I dare? Levi Garrison sneered. Since they have left, they are no longer Arudaya people, and there is no need to come back. What are you talking about? Anyway, we are also a family. You can't win Tao and they usually have friction with you, you just have to take revenge. Wu Mulan said immediately. Yes, a family, are you watching them die outside? What kind of king are you now? Don't you just deny the 6 relatives and want to kill them, the people said in a rush. Even Emma and Zhao Yelan also persuaded, in fact, King's Landing doesn't have much to do. Have you arranged it? Just one sentence. See what the old man is doing. The old lady thought of something and asked Zoe to persuade her. Zoe stood beside Levi Garrison. I listened to Levi. Well, I don't care about this. They love it. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1787. Levi Garrison's attitude was firm and he didn't give any chance at all. Let them fend for themselves. Not only that. Levi Garrison immediately issued an order. Everyone who had previously left Arudaya nationality was not allowed to enter Arudaya again, let alone restore their status. This order was issued by Levi Garrison himself. No matter what the identity of the other party, it won't work. When this order came out, it caused dissatisfaction among countless people. Now Arudaya has demonstrated unprecedented strength. In addition, most people are not so happy living abroad. After all, the network resources are in Arudaya, and money is also in Arudaya. In foreign countries, they just eat their laurels. There will always be one day to finish eating. And they found that foreign countries are using their value to squeeze them. They are not really welcome. When they are drained of value, they will be driven out. Especially the recent big moves of War Eagle Nation made them deeply aware of this. Arudaya is the best. They have to return to Arudaya as soon as possible. Therefore, due to various factors, those who fled before want to come back. Even some celebrities have already bought tickets and want to take the flight back. As a result, Levi Garrison suddenly gave such an order, which made many people directly dumbfounded. Several old people could only scold Levi Garrison's 6 relatives for not admitting, but there was no way. After Levi Garrison's order was issued, it was quickly implemented in various places. However, there was a lot of opposition and resistance. Some people, relying on their power and status, have to forcibly break in, and the two sides may even clashed. The next day, Levi Garrison received a call from Xiaofeng to say something important. It turns out that the largest port of Jianghai City is about to arrive at a 10,000-ton cruise ship. The passengers on this cruise ship are all wealthy celebrities who have left the Erudaya nationality before present. These people will come back when the danger in Great Xia is lifted. As a result, Levi Garrison's order blocked their plan to return to Erudaya. So some of them are in the East Island, Star Country's wealthy celebrities gathered together. They want to come back together. Therefore, they chartered a cruise ship and returned with thousands of upper-class people. In their view, all of their cruise ships are elites. No matter where they are valuable. They believe that Erudaya will not reject their elite group. What's more, the people on the cruise ship are powerful and powerful. Who dares to stop? What's more terrifying is that the big celebrities on the cruise ship unexpectedly released the news that they were coming back to Erudaya and asked fans to pick them up. The news that dozens of hundreds of internet celebrities came back came out. Their fans are not calm. The cruise ship arrives at 12 noon. These fans came to the port early at 5 or 6 o'clock to grab a spot, and they all wanted to be the first to receive their favorite star. The tricky problem is that there are more and more fans. According to the news from Xiaofeng, the port has already gathered 50,000 fans, and the number is still increasing. He can't handle this matter. Then I asked Levi Garrison for help. Levi Garrison's face changed drastically when he heard it. This group of actors really have the means to come up with such a trick to get fans to pick it up. This is absolutely impossible for ordinary people to deal with. You can't beat fans or drive them away. In that case, the impact will be too great. Therefore, even if Xiaofeng was a supreme-level powerhouse, he was helpless in the face of this matter. Especially the fans are getting more and more, it is difficult to control. Wait for me, I will take care of this personally. Levi Garrison immediately went to the port of Jianghai City. This group of fans is so pitiful, they don't even know they have been used. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1787. Levi Garrison was sitting in the helicopter and saw a crowd of fans on the ground. He couldn't help sighing. A group of innocent people. This trick is vicious. Use fans to counter us. Once we have any excessive behavior, it will definitely have a huge impact. Xiaofeng explained after seeing Levi Garrison. Xiaofeng is also an extremely intelligent person, but he can't handle this kind of situation. You can't use force, right? At this moment, the number of fans is approaching 100,000. Crowded the small port. As soon as Levi arrived, the cruise ship from Star Country had also arrived at the port. About to log in. On the deck of the cruise ship, thousands of elites are looking at the port. Everyone smiled when they saw the crowds of fans. The leading stars Gao Xiangcheng and Xiang Swibing were even more excited. Look, our approach is okay. It turned out that it was their idea to let the fans pick it up. The more fans came, the less Erudaya dared to target them. So before setting off, they vigorously incited fans to pick up the ship. Not only that, they also invited dozens of internationally renowned media on the cruise ship. In this way, even if they are driven out, these media will release the news, which will have a great impact. I have to say that they are very smart. A lot of preparations were made, so Erudaya had no reason to drive them away. Under the public opinion of all parties, they can only be allowed to enter Erudaya and restore their identities. They can continue to make money and continue to have a high position in Erudaya. The things that fled Erudaya before had no effect on them at all. Bang! Finally the cruise ship drew at the port. These fans are starting to go crazy. Can you not be excited to see so many stars at such close range? Fans are crazy about rushing over, but fortunately, Xiao Feng arranged someone in advance to send him. We stayed outside. But it was just blocking. If anything happens, this group of fans may get out of control. These can't stop them at all. Gao. Xiang Cheng. Xiang Swibing. Welcome you back. Welcome, welcome, warm welcome. Arudaya's door is always open for you. You are always welcome back. Fans are crazy yelling, the posture is like whoever dares to stop these stars, they are desperately like whoever dares to stop these stars. Nearly 100,000 fans chanted together, the scene was too grand. Xiao Feng and others couldn't stop it if they wanted to. The situation is more serious than they thought. They only have to dare to say a word. These 100,000 fans can eat them. Not to mention the impact. After stopping at the port, Gao Xiangcheng and these people first let the international media go round. This is the #1 Korean media company in the East. This is the largest Kevin media company in the West. These media began to introduce their identities as soon as the downstream rounds, and used equipment to start shooting, even live broadcasting. This. Xiao Feng was dying of a headache when he saw this. In this way, they don't even have a chance to block the news. Unless all these media are killed. But how is it possible? The matter is more serious than they thought. Xiao Feng clenched his fists. I'm afraid this matter will be difficult to deal with, or it can't be dealt with. At this time, the elites of Gao Xiangcheng went down one by one. Who let you down? Get me back. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1789. The sound was like muffled thunder. Everyone present was frightened. Especially the elites who had just been on the downstream wheel, all stopped and stared at the distance. In a daze. I saw Levi Garrison walking slowly at the station. Levi Garrison suppressed everyone with a voice just now. Even Xiao Feng and the others were shocked. In Xiao Feng's view, this issue has to be handled softly. If we can discuss the solution, we can solve it, and we must not use strong means to solve it. The harder you are, the harder you can handle this matter. It can be said that tough methods are the most stupid behavior to deal with this matter. As a result, they just finished thinking like this, Levi Garrison shouted out. They were also dumbfounded. What is Levi Garrison doing? Should we take the strongest way to resolve this matter? In the past dozens of seconds, Gao Xiangcheng and other talents reacted one by one. You, what are you talking about? Xiang Swibing asked tremblingly. I tell you to go back. You people don't want to set foot on the land of Arudaya. Go back to me. Levi Garrison said word by word. The sound was like thunder, scared everyone's pupils to shrink, and the foot that had just stepped out abruptly retracted. People like Gao Xiangcheng were really frightened by Levi Garrison's powerful aura. I dare not say a word. But the thousands of fans behind him refused to agree. Dare to treat their idols like this, don't they dare? What are you talking about? Let them go back? What right do you have? They are all elites. It is Arudaya's loss to keep them out. I urge you to settle this matter peacefully. If you use strong means, if you do, don't blame us for not agreeing. And yes, we don't agree. We don't agree. Fans started to get restless, and there was a tendency to get out of control. Dozens of international media quickly recorded this scene. Put these news stories out. When Gao Xiangcheng saw this, they all smiled. No matter how tyrannical these people are, they can be covered by fans. He looked at Levi Garrison triumphantly. Yes, my family fans are right. Rejecting us is Arudaya's loss. I urge you to look at the situation clearly, and obediently invite us back to Arudaya. This is what you want, do it. Xiang Swibing also echoed, yes. The value we bring is incomparable. I have 17 million fans, what are you? Dare to tell me to go back? Yes, my assets 3 billion, is my value not great? How much investment can I bring? No, I have hundreds of factories, how many jobs can I provide? These elites all spoke out one by one. There is one saying, and many of them are right. But there is one thing, they are not only giving, they are also asking for it. Without Arudaya, where did their fans come from, where did their assets come from, and where did their factories come from? Isn't this because you can't hang around abroad and just want to return to your country to gain benefits from your compatriots? He said that he was so tall, in fact, it was all for himself. Well said. We support you. If anyone dares to drive you away, unless you step over from us. Yes, yes, we are in the way, I see who dares to stop. Fans are easily moved. With a few words from the idols, their blood boiled over. Once Levi Garrison wants to stop people, they will stand in the front. Seeing the effect of the fans, these people laughed. They looked at Levi Garrison arrogantly. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1790. Everyone welcomes the idol back. Welcome. Fans began to cheer. Some fans even broke free and rushed to the front to meet their idols. Gao Xiangcheng and these people took advantage of the trend to go down the wheel one by one. As long as they come to Arudaya, restoration of their identities will no longer be a problem. The most important level is over. Thousands of elites set foot on the land of Arudaya proudly, and many people's eyes were still provoking yet. Levi. Everyone in Xiaofeng looked ugly. Things have developed to a scene they don't want to see. It's not easy to control this time. I can only watch it. Peaceful methods are no longer possible, let alone violent methods. Who let you down? At this moment, Levi Garrison's voice sounded. Hey! All eyes in the field focused on Levi Garrison. I saw Levi Garrison walking towards the crowd step by step, and then stopped opposite them. Levi Garrison stepped on a line, and he said coldly, I see who dares to go one step further. Who dares to cross this line, I will not show mercy. Xiaofeng and the others were angry when they saw Levi Garrison. Endless. Master, is this inappropriate? Things won't make a big deal. Xiaofeng whispered in Levi Garrison's ear. If something goes wrong, I will be responsible for it alone. Levi Garrison was determined. Why are you so domineering? Who do you think you are? Fans began to refuse to agree. Gao Xiangcheng smiled and said, I want to see what happens when I step out of this line. Gao Xiangcheng arrogantly looked at Levi Garrison and crossed the line designated by Levi Garrison in 2 steps. Now? What do you want to do with me? Gao Xiangcheng looked at Levi Garrison with a sneer. Levi Garrison frowned, he stared at Gao Xiangcheng. Boom! In the next second, Levi Garrison raised his foot and blasted Gao Xiangcheng out. Gao Xiangcheng drew a parabola in the air, and then smashed heavily on the deck of the cruise ship. At this moment, everyone was stunned. No one expected to do it. This is a lot of trouble. Xiaofeng said in a low voice. Are you crazy? Do you dare to hit someone? Who are you? Do you dare to hit someone? Everyone who reacted, one by one, was angry and accused Levi Garrison one after another. My name is Levi Garrison, and I gave that order. Levi Garrison said. Then you can't hit people either. He is a superstar with 20 million fans. How dare you? Yes, why are you? Hurry up and apologize. Everyone was angry. Levi Garrison smiled indifferently and shook his fist. What do you say I rely on? Rely on this. Boom. With a wave of his right hand, an invisible force pushed away all the fans in front of him. These fans didn't understand what was going on, so they were pushed behind Levi Garrison. Not only that, Levi Garrison also erected an invisible wall of air in front of all fans. The fans were restless and wanted to rush over one by one. Bang bang bang! One by one was blocked by an invisible air wall. While everyone was angry, they were terrified. No matter what they do, they just can't break through the air wall. Levi Garrison stopped 100,000 fans with his own power. The thousands of people waiting for Seong Bingsu were all dumbfounded. They have thought about many kinds of accidents. Only did not expect Levi Garrison to be so tough. Levi Garrison looked at everyone and sneered, "I want to come to Arudaya." "Impossible. Go back to me. I don't believe you can bear such a big responsibility. If you don't, do you? I will do it myself." The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1791. Do you dare to try? So many people are watching, so many international media are here, do you try with a finger? These people were not convinced, and stared at Levi Garrison one by one. Bang! 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 Levi Garrison didn't bother to talk nonsense with them, kicking them one by one and flying them onto the cruise ship one by one. The overbearing methods are shocking. Even the international media were stunned. Levi Garrison looked at them. Who allowed you to set foot on Arudaya land? You entered the country unconventionally, right? According to Arudaya rules, I have reason to drive you out. Levi Garrison sent thousands of people out with just one sentence. Speechless. They did not go through any immigration formalities. After all, they are not of Arudaya nationality. All such hurried intrusions are illegal entry. What Levi Garrison did was right. Go back to me. Levi Garrison roared. Drive away all these international media. Whoever dares to come again is dead. Levi Garrison blasted out a punch. The sea surface not far away was forcibly split in half, forming a huge crack of thousands of meters. Not only that, the powerful force pushed the cruise ship back. Can't control it at all. This scene shocked everyone in the audience. Is that human being? After dealing with these people, Levi Garrison turned around and walked away from the wall of air blocking the fans. All this group of fans exploded. Who are you? Why do you drive them away? They are our idols. Why are you? And one by one, Levi Garrison glared angrily. Levi Garrison smiled, then I ask you, some time ago, when Arudaya was in crisis, where were your idols? They. In. Yeah, one sentence of Levi left 100,000 fans speechless, unable to speak a complete sentence. Soon, no one of the 100,000 fans spoke. Everyone looked at each other, quietly a bit scary. I'm here to tell you. When the national disaster was at stake, your idols went to take refuge abroad. One after another. Even at the most critical moment of Arudaya, when it was rumored to be extinct, they resolutely withdrew from Arudaya nationality and joined another country. When you were in dire straits, your idols ran away. They are worthy of you. Levi Garrison asked the fans a few words. Everyone is not a fool, except for those who are too obsessed or have a brain disease, can basically respond. You keep saying that idols give you motivation, but at your most critical moment, who is the one who saved you? Is it them? No. It's a big summer warrior. Every big summer warrior doesn't fade, is not afraid of bloodshed. They saved you from fire and water. You have also felt this time deeply. The real moment is when those people are protecting you in obscurity. On the contrary, the idols who usually occupy the position of resources are all gone. Of course you can't be killed in one shot. There are also many celebrities who set an example by donating supplies to the front line, etc. But what did this group of people you like do? It's okay to follow a star, it's okay to find a role model. Would you please keep your eyes open and find a good character? Silence. A long silence. All fans are inspired. One of them asked tremblingly, "May I ask who you are?" Listen well, he is the greatest hero who saved Arudaya the king of the world side by side. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, chapter 1792. Xiao Feng shouted. Now hundreds of thousands of people can't sit still, looking at Levi Garrison with all admiration. Now everyone in Arudaya praises these Arudaya warriors. Hearing the title of the word side by side king, everyone was not calm. Brothers and sisters, heroes like the king of one word and Qin Baishan and Lao Qin are the idols we really want to pursue. Don't be fooled by the surface. We must pursue a beautiful appearance, but also a beautiful interior. Seeing these people have such a sense, Xiao Feng laughed at them. Levi Garrison's personality charm keeps growing in their minds. He just used violent means to solve this kind of thing. Let so many people realize the correct value. After this time, no one dared to defy this order. The traitors who had fled Arudaya can never come back. The most ridiculous thing is that everyone found that without these elites, what Arudaya should do or what? Everything is working normally. Without them, there are others who have come forward to replace them, better than they did. When Levi Garrison was instructing Lavilia on this day, suddenly a few people covered in blood suddenly rushed in. "Mr. Ye, save us, save us." These people lay on the ground and pleaded. "Are you, belonging to the North Demon?" Levi Garrison judged their identities through their breath. "Yes, Mr. Ye, save us, save us." Several people were emotional. "What happened to you guys?" Levi Garrison stopped their injuries first, and then asked. "Mr. Ye, this morning our clan and other sect forces were suddenly attacked by unknown masters. They were brutal and aimed at exterminating the clan. We admit that we have made a mistake, but we hold the capital behind. We are also a general. The merit is over, don't you need to exterminate the race?" Several people immediately explained the situation. Levi Garrison checked, Xiao Feng and the others knew about it. It turned out that the Beilong clan took the shot and wanted to eliminate these evil ways. Those forces that surrendered to Levi Garrison were among them. The people of the northern demons were almost wiped out. The few people who had escaped hurriedly ran to Levi to ask for help. Levi Garrison immediately informed Xiao Feng and told Messiah and the others to stop. "Dad, here comes someone," Lavilia reminded. At this moment, there was a slight noise outside. Soon, 8 figures appeared in the yard, all wearing black costumes and black face towels, carrying a crossbow and holding a long knife. The Beilong clan who once appeared on the battlefield of the Eastern Territory. As soon as the 8 people appeared, the aura opened up. The terrifying sword aura and killing intent were condensed together, swept like a violent wind in this courtyard. Slashing across his cheeks, like a blade cut, it hurts fiercely. "Mr. Ye, it's them." When several people saw these swordsmen, they were all frightened. Not long ago, these people directly slaughtered all their families. Only a few of them are left. Extremely terrified of these swordsmen. "Hand them over." The 8 voices were hoarse, and their tone of commands was full of meaning. "Sorry, this is my house, you are not welcome." "Hurry up," Levi Garrison said. "These are evil ways that the Beilong clan wants to kill. I advise you not to be nosy. Otherwise, you will die too." The few people were very murderous, and they didn't pay attention to Levi Garrison at all. "I have to die too? Haha. Tell your master, they are my Levi Garrison's people, you can't move." Levi Garrison smiled. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, chapter 1793. Levi Garrison? We don't care who you are. We will kill these people. The swordsmen of the Beilong clan have eyes higher than the sky, and all of them are Laozi's best in the world. Levi Garrison didn't pay attention to it at all. That's just a fight. Levi Garrison didn't talk nonsense. Do it directly. Although these 8 people were extremely powerful, they almost wiped out the clan behind the Northern Demon. But against the current Levi Garrison, he was still vulnerable. The 8 people were cleared out by Levi Garrison as if the autumn wind swept fallen leaves. At this time, Messiah he had sent back news, saying that the Beilong clan would not stop, and all these evil ways must be eliminated. Xiao Feng, didn't you say that these people are mine? Levi Garrison asked. That said, but Messiah said that the danger of the capital was solved by the Beilong clan at all, and it has nothing to do with these evil ways. Hearing Xiao Feng's explanation, Levi Garrison's face turned black. Okay, I will save people personally. Levi Garrison set off immediately and soon came to a deep mountain somewhere in the north. The major forces that once surrendered to him are now defeated. They gathered together and lingered. In a short period of time, the major forces have lost half. Hundreds of masters from the Beilong clan pressed in front of him. All it takes is a wave of attacks, and all the rest will be destroyed. At the moment of crisis, Levi came. It was they who relieved the danger of the capital city, and the merits and demerits are equal to each other. Killing them means not giving me Levi Garrison face. Levi Garrison was very angry when he saw the heavy casualties. They must die. Who blocks and kills who? The Beilong clan doesn't care who it is. No one can change what they believe. And it's him that injured the 8 of us. At this time, someone pointed to Levi Garrison. It turned out to be you. Okay, let's not let you go now. The atmosphere of tension on both sides was ignited. In order to be afraid of the trouble, Messiah and the others also hurried over. Misunderstanding, misunderstanding. We have checked it out, and they are indeed the ones who relieved the danger of the capital. They are now the kings of the same word. Messiah explained the matter. The leader of the Beilong clan sneered and said, then they are also persecuted by the king to do this thing. These crooked ways are a scourge, and it is best to eradicate it. If you keep it, it is absolutely endless. Levi Garrison sneered, that's my own business. You can't control it. Finally, under the negotiation of Messiah the Beilong clan let go of the remaining evil demons. The masters of the Beilong clan finally left. This man is the king of the word side by side? He defeated the Domination Alliance before. Yes, it is him. But I have seen this man's shots, and his skills look like a demon. Someone doubted. Yes, that's right. It's exactly the same as that big demon. The key point is that he is still mixed with these crooked ways, and I begin to doubt his identity. If the identity of the king of the word side by side is so important but controlled by a demon, then isn't Arudaya already in crisis? We will go back as soon as possible and tell the owner what happened, and I think we should notify Tian's mansion. What the Beilong clan said was the same as what the Bamo clan said before. All mentioned a demon. Levi Garrison never expected that the meeting with Beilong clan today would bring him much disaster in the future. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1794. From now on you follow me. Levi Garrison wanted to incorporate them into his secret team. On the one hand, it improves combat effectiveness, and on the other hand, it also gives Messiah a reassurance. After all, these people mentioned by the Beilong clan before are hidden dangers. If they were allowed to leave, Messiah might really be worried. But Levi Garrison took care of them, but there was no worries. Messiah was also very happy. Levi Garrison's ability to regain these people is also the enhancement of Arudaya's combat effectiveness. Levi Garrison did not return to Jiangbei directly. He led the way through Messiahi and came to the secret base of the Shenlong Science and Technology Alliance. The Dragon Technology Alliance represents the most advanced technology of Erudaya, involving aviation, weapons, and other fields. As soon as he arrived at the base, Levi Garrison found that he was staring at a lot of eyes. But the people who stared at him were not humans, they were all merciless machines. The dark iron laboratory base that Jefferson had hidden before was also considered top-notch, but compared to what was in front of him, it was completely pediatric. This base is definitely the most advanced technology base. Even if the warrior attacked, it could not be taken. Soon, Wen Lei came to the court. "Are you here to see Su Zhenjia's situation?" Wen Lei was straightforward. "That's right. He is very responsible, and he hasn't seen anything unusual so far. He is also the most talented I have ever seen. How long it has taken, he helped us solve a lot of problems," Wen Lei said. Levi Garrison frowned. "The more you are, the more you have to be on guard. This person is wrong. First, things that might endanger Erudaya. Second, you represent Erudaya's most advanced technology. What if you let him leak it?" Wen Lei listened carefully to what Levi Garrison said. It makes sense. But Wen Lei is a very arrogant person. Since she was a child, she has existed like stars holding the moon, and now she is the strongest female scientist. Even if Levi Garrison was right, she would not approve it. Especially she was a little bit uncomfortable with Levi Garrison's way of pointing Zhongshan. "Don't we know it ourselves?" she asked back. "I advise you to send someone to take care of it. In case something happens, it will be too late to regret it," Levi Garrison reminded. Wen Lei said nothing this time. Because what Levi Garrison said was the same as she thought. She made many suggestions that someone should take care of Su Zhenjia, but they were all rejected. But no one else agreed. "You are deliberately making trouble, right? What is special supervision? Su Zhenjia is our compatriot. Our comrade." Yes, Comrade Su Zhenjia has deeply realized his mistakes. These days he has made contributions. It's enough to prove everything. Who are you? What does it mean to come to our base? Also wrong a good comrade. These people were completely convinced by Su Zhenjia. Now Su Zhenjia has a very high position in this base. In the eyes of these scientific and technical personnel, there is not much intrigue, everyone worships the strong. Su Zhenjia is strong enough for them to worship and admire. So now when I heard Levi Garrison talking about Su Zhenjia, no one agreed. Wen Lei smiled helplessly. Based on this, her suggestions have been rejected again and again. The most important thing is that Su Zhenjia's performance is very peaceful, without any flaws. She is not good to continue talking. Isn't this an old classmate? Why did I just hear someone say that I need someone to take care of me? At this moment, Su Zhenjia walked out and looked at Levi Garrison with a smile on his face. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1795. Everyone is a compatriot, why bother? What's more, I knew that I was wrong. Just yesterday, I donated all my assets to make up for my mistakes and make me feel better. Su Zhenjia blamed himself. Everyone applaud. Everyone began to applaud. Yesterday Su Zhenjia did donate all his assets. A sky-high number. People admire and trust Su Zhenjia like this. But the more he was like this, the more abnormal it became to Levi Garrison and Wen Lei. The path of geniuses is the most extreme. Donating all your assets is an extreme behavior. Su Zhenjia looked at Levi Garrison and said, "I know you have been suspicious of me. If you don't worry, just kill me. I know it is easy to kill me with your strength." He dare? He wants to kill you, unless we kill all of us first. Yes, we protect you. These scientific and technical personnel are all crazy. Su Zhenjie looked at Levi Garrison triumphantly. It seemed to say to Levi Garrison, now you can't kill me if you want to kill me. Sooner or later, you will be killed. Levi Garrison sneered. You quickly leave our base, you are not welcome here. I hope I won't see you in the future. The crowd began to drive Levi Garrison away. Boy, any changes you make, I will know, and then I will kill you. Levi Garrison gave a warning and left with Wen Lei. Don't worry, I'm watching it. Wen Lei couldn't help saying when sending Levi Garrison away. It seems that there are still smart people. Levi Garrison smiled. You. Wen Lei was going crazy. This base wins over talents with the highest IQs in the entire university. Almost all well-known scientists are here. It is no exaggeration to say that the smartest people in the country are here. As a result, Levi Garrison said so. He is deliberately sarcastic. But looking at Levi Garrison's back, Wen Lei showed a smile. As a scientist, her philosophy has always been to save the country with science and technology. In her eyes, these warriors are reckless. But this time the danger of Great Xia, but these warriors solved it. She still admires it. It's just that she doesn't say it out of her mouth. Not far away, Su Zhenjie stared at the back of Levi Garrison's departure. He sneered and said, Levi Garrison is right. These people with high IQs are very low in EQ and are very cheating. Levi Garrison, you wait, I will definitely make a wave great. Although many days have passed since the Battle of Eagle Nation. But this is the topic the world talks about. The Eagle Nation has lost all of its people. Their hatred with Arudaya is getting deeper and deeper. But the entire Warhawk Nation suddenly lost its voice, and it was terrifyingly calm and low-key. But a big event happened suddenly in Arudaya. Before the Beilong clan surfaced. In fact, the Beilong clan does not refer to a single clan, it has a total of 9 ancient guardian clans. The origin of the ancient tribes has to be traced back to a long time ago. Some things have never been recorded in history. However, the 9 ancient guardians are not a whole, but they control Arudaya's secrets and guard the most important things. Therefore, there is another institution that has always existed in Arudaya to restrict them. This strongest institution is called Tian's Mansion. It is also known as the foundation of protecting the country. The institution of Tian's Mansion is also composed of many small institutions. Among them, Tianji Pavilion is the most complete secret and intelligence in the world. On this day, Tianji Pavilion made an earth-shattering event. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1796. A sensation throughout Arudaya, and even the whole world. Because Tianji Pavilion has reopened the very old list, Arudaya list. What is the Big Summer Land list? It was a long time ago, much earlier than before the Covenant of the Gods came out, the ranking of the strong Arudaya. The so-called land list is the list of young powerhouses under the age of 30, also called the Tianjiao list. The potential list. The sky list is the ranking of all the strong. Because for such a long time, there is no real strong person who is really qualified to be on the list. So the big summer rankings have been silent for too long. Except for some ancient tribes, basically no one has heard of it. But the times have changed drastically now. The covenant of the gods is torn up. The strong flooded into the world like a cloud and entered everyone's eyes. In particular, Levi Garrison led his army to defeat the Domination Alliance, even after the Eagle Nation successively beheaded 5 seventh heavenly powers. This situation has changed drastically. Now there are people who can qualify for the Great Summer Land list. Besides, Tianji Pavilion almost controls all the secrets and intelligence of time. Arudaya's potential hidden masters are also recorded. Although there are still many forces and strong people that have not appeared, or that they are hidden. very deeply. But TNG Pavilion knew everything about them, including their strength ratings. Let me put it this way. Almost all the combat power of Erudaya Masters are under the control of TNG Pavilion. That's why they can rank the most just world ranking. As soon as the world list came out, the entire Erudaya and the whole world were shocked. But most of the strong on the list are unknown to everyone. Most of them are just names. Of course, the real name is even less known. The only person who is familiar with the list is the mysterious man who successively beheaded the 5 great and 7 heavenly powerhouses in the Eagle Nation. Although many people knew that person was Levi Garrison. But in order to avoid spreading to Levi Garrison's relatives and friends, Messiah still hides everything. Otherwise it will be too much trouble. The code name of the mysterious man Levi's Squad Wong. The meaning is taken from the Levi's Squad. But what is shocking is that the King of Heaven, who successively killed the 5 seventh heavenly powers, is only ranked 20th at the end of the list. Terrible. All this is terrible. This shocked Erudaya and the whole world. A strong man who makes the War Eagle country out of nowhere is only ranked 20th, so how strong should the people in front be? Especially how strong are the top 3? Isn't it going to destroy the world? This list was singled out, and everyone was shocked. The world ranking is a warning to the world. Let you know how strong Erudaya is. There are at least 19 people who are better than Levi's Squad Wong. There is also that the powerhouse of the 7th heaven is not even qualified to be on the list. This is too scary. Who dares to invade Erudaya again? Are you looking for death? You can't say that this list is fake. Because this was discharged from the TNG Pavilion. Other countries are recognized. For a time, the Erudaya martial arts world was in full swing, showing unprecedented glory. Other overseas countries are even more desperate. This time, Erudaya was completely pulled away. Levi Garrison also quickly learned about the world rankings. He wasn't interested in his rank. I'm just more curious about this list. He also asked Messiah. Messiah's answer is that it does have the meaning of shocking other countries, and the other is that they can't control the affairs of Tian's Mansion. Tian's Mansion and Messiah he are equal organizations and can cooperate with each other, but cannot command each other. Levi Garrison opened up the ranking of the land list again. The local rankings are all young people on the rankings, and Levi Garrison didn't even know them. But when he saw the end, his face changed drastically. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1797. There is no other reason. Because the person at the bottom of the list is Lavilia, his daughter. The name at the end is too dazzling. It made Levi Garrison not slow down for a long time. Who leaked the matter of Lavilia's talent? In fact, Lopez and Black's family had deliberately blocked them. As for Wushuan City, they themselves wished to hide Lavilia, let alone leak it out. Who would leak it out? What's more, Levi Garrison was sure that Lavilia would definitely not be able to make the list if he relied on pure strength. He has been laying a solid foundation for Lavilia, but he has not allowed her to increase her strength. The only reason that Lavilia was on the list was Lavilia's potential. Someone discovered Lavilia's talent. That's why Lavilia is at the bottom of the list. And the most frightening thing is that TNG Pavilion marked the reason for being on the list. This child's talent is the strongest in the millennium of Erudaya. In this way, Lavilia became completely famous. If she grows up, she will be number 1 in the future and number 1 in the sky. Levi Garrison thought that someone had leaked the gift of Lavilia. In fact, all of this is under the control of Tian's Mansion TNG Pavilion. It was TNG Pavilion who ranked Lavilia on the Earth list. Levi Garrison smiled helplessly. Both father and daughter are on the list. One day list, one place list. The ridiculous thing is at the end. The king of Levi's squad's ranking shocked the world. Lavilia's ranking shocked Erudaya. The ranking list is the ranking list of Tianjiao, even if it is under 30 years old. But Lavilia is too young. On the list at a few years old. Everyone was shocked after seeing the list. Whose kid is this? This talent is terrible, right? Even Lavilia's reputation spread abroad. Arudaya is as strong as a cloud, and has such potential. Child, who can stop in the future? After Levi Garrison hurried back to Jiangbei. The house is also upset. Because everyone knows the world list, Zoe knows all of them. Lopez and Black's family, and many people from the Western Chu family came one after another. This is simply a big deal. Do you know Levi? Zoe hurriedly asked when he saw Levi Garrison. Well, I know, it was my fault, I didn't keep a good secret. Levi Garrison blamed himself a little. As a father, I naturally want to protect Lavilia for a lifetime. This secret can be kept for as long as possible. Unfortunately, I still didn't keep it. Then Lavilia's danger is more. There must be a sect force who wants to bring Lavilia back to train. Similar to Wushuan City Black God sect. There is also the overseas powerhouses who definitely don't want Lavilia to grow up. Once Lavilia grows up, it will be a threat to overseas countries. So they will find ways to get rid of Lavilia and kill him in the bud. Everyone present knew that this event was not a happy event. Lavilia is still too young to protect himself. They have no ability to protect the king. If danger comes, who can stop it? Don't worry, with me, who dares to move Lavilia? Levi Garrison said coldly. You can pull it down, this matter of Lavilia is equivalent to stabbing Luzi. I don't know how many people are rushing to ask Lavilia. In the future, we may not even see the children. Hey, my poor Lavilia, isn't it okay to be an ordinary person? Several old people hugged Lavilia distressedly. If you are the king of Levi's squad, it's okay. But I heard that the king of Levi's squad belongs to the Beilong clan. Several people sighed. Because of Messiah's secrecy, the news of Levi's squad Wang cannot be leaked. Levi Garrison said coldly, but I am the king of the word side by side, who would dare to touch my daughter? The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1798. As soon as Levi Garrison said this, almost no one paid any attention to him. Everyone is still discussing. The old lady suggested, how about this? Let's find a big power for Lavilia in advance. In this way, Lavilia's danger will be eliminated and a good future can be obtained. This is a good way. I agree. I agree too. The old lady's proposal was almost agreed by everyone. But first of all, this big power must be super powerful to ensure the safety of the emperor. Secondly, it must be a decent person, otherwise it is equivalent to pushing the emperor into the fire pit. This is true, if the emperor is sent to those crooked ways. But it's completely over. Everyone was discussing. Levi Garrison sneered, where there is good and evil in the world of warriors, only the weak can eat the strong. The crooked ways are not necessarily bad people. How about Wushuan City? In their eyes, it is considered decent, right? But it's not the same, they are all using Lavilia. Being good to Lavilia is entirely because of her value. Of course, the evil ways of the Black God sect should be eliminated directly. Levi Garrison, what nonsense are you talking about? Are you going to personally send Lavilia into the hands of a crooked door? The crowd angered. Levi Garrison stopped paying attention. As long as he is there, Lavilia is safe. Zoe and the others negotiated to find a powerful force to be a teacher for Lavilia. Levi Garrison is not interested in blending. He began to write a series of techniques and combat skills. His next plan is not only to train the secret team, but also to improve the overall level of the Erudaya fighters. Levi Garrison combined all the factors to write different exercises and combat skills for erudite fighters for their practice. For example, ordinary fighters must be at the entry level of cultivation. For example, if the king of the 5 great wars has the basics, he has to practice a little more advanced. For the 5 great war kings, Levi Garrison specially wrote different exercises for them according to each person's situation. Even in today's era of the strong, Levi Garrison has to create an invincible division. This time, Levi's squad Wang and Lavilia are really famous. More and more people know. There are also more people who come to mine their information. The information about King Levi's squad and Lavilia on the dark web of the dark world has been sold at sky-high prices. But hundreds of people still buy it. It shows everyone's curiosity about these 2 people. Levi Garrison could also clearly feel that there were more and more people nearby. It seems that many people are already eyeing Lavilia. Another person stared at Lavilia. That is Su Zhenjie. In the base, in his room. 3 photos are posted on one wall. It belongs to Levi Garrison's family. The photos of Levi Garrison and Lavilia have been stabbed with countless knives. Levi Garrison, do you think you are so powerful that I can't kill you? Wait, it will be soon. And your baby daughter, how cute and talented. It's unimaginable. How happy you are in the future. But I will end your happiness with my own hands. Su Zhenjie said frantically. On his desk there is an experimental map with dense lines and formulas all over it. Su Zhenjie stared frantically, as if this was the only way to defeat Levi Garrison. That's right. Soon, Su Zhenjie will conduct a crazy and great experiment. The main base of the Shenlong Science and Technology Alliance satisfies all the conditions for his experiment. If this experiment is successful, it will shock the world and it will also be a catastrophe. The Return of the God of War, the Protector, Chapter 1799. The main reason is that Su Zhenjie is too free in the base. No one cares about it, and there are extremely high permissions. He can use almost all the top laboratories. He can do his own thing by making a contribution. No one doubted it at all. That is why Wen Lei pays more attention to Su Zhenjie, and other people can't wait to confess Su Zhenjie. The main Su Zhenjie was too capable. After coming for a few days, he helped everyone solve a lot. After calming down, Su Zhenjie put on protective clothing and went to the base laboratory area. I want to use the 3rd laboratory. Wen Lei was the person who approved it. She routinely checks Su Zhenjie for any bugs or other equipment. Okay, approve. Wen Lei always felt a little strange as Su Zhenjie and his team entered the laboratory. But she couldn't tell what it was. Su Zhenjie now has more and more authority, and he can use the 3rd laboratory. She always feels that it is not a good thing. But everyone trusts Su Zhenjie extremely. Don't have an accident. Wen Lei rubbed her swollen head. The other side. Levi Garrison had collected all the tokens of the Levi squad brothers collected by the Western Heavenly King. When he first came back, Levi Garrison asked the Western Heavenly King to make preparations. This group of brothers has no bones, even without a name and no surname. They have been living in the dark, but they are holding Erudaya forward. After death, Levi Garrison had to build a burial mound for them. And engraved their names. Today, the clothing tombs have been built. Levi Garrison will personally pay homage to the brothers and engrave their names on their tombstones. Somewhere in the cemetery of Fengtian City in the northeast. Levi Garrison took Lavilia, followed by Zishan Wang and others. Bring the sword. Levi Garrison said in a low voice. Trophy. Chapter 1800. A person behind him threw a long sword. Immediately, Levi Garrison carved his name on the tombstones. Du Junhao's tomb. Gao Liangpan's tomb. Zhang Hongming's tomb. A total of 999 tombstones, Levi Garrison carved their names one by one. Behind them, the Western Heavenly Kings stood silently. After the engraving, Levi Garrison picked up a jar of wine and sprinkled it in front, and he lifted the remaining. "Have to drink. Brothers, go all the way!" everyone shouted. Almost 1,000 new graves. At this moment, a group of people came not far away. The headed man looked at Levi Garrison and said with a smile, "Master, it looks like a cloak. I heard that they were all sacrificed on the battlefield, and not even a corpse was left." Someone next to him said, "A bunch of idiots. All of them have a brain disease. Who remembers you when they die?" One by one went desperately, and in the end there was no dead body left. The young man laughed. Several people next to him echoed, "Yes, that's right. It's just a group of people being brainwashed. In fact, they all went to die in vain. A group of fools. It also protects Arudaya. In fact, it is a group of foolish fools." Discussions among them were inconvenient. Yes, they also issued orders not to let those who left Arudaya back then. "By the way, Master, how did you come back?" Everyone looked at the young man with curiosity. It turns out that the young man also fled out of Arudaya. Now he is back. It seemed that Levi Garrison's command didn't work for him. But Levi Garrison heard what they said completely. "You guys, stop for me." Levi Garrison sounded like thunder. He does not allow his brothers to be ridiculed and insulted like this after their sacrifices. What's more, he gave orders. How did this man come back? What kind of background and ability can he ignore the orders he personally gave? There are too many questions. Levi Garrison had no choice but to manage. When Anshiki and his party heard this, they were all amused. They stopped and looked at Levi Garrison. "Boy, are you calling us?" Anshiki smiled at Levi Garrison. The person next to him reminded, "Master, you just came back, it's better not to cause trouble. This kid is on my head. Go. Let's take a look." Anshiki brought his servants to Levi Garrison. "Boy, what do you call me to come over for?" Levi Garrison said with a cold face, "Two things. The first one, kneel down and apologize." Words are not surprising and endless. As soon as Levi Garrison said this, Anshiki and his party were all stunned. "Tell us to kneel down and apologize? Why?" Anshiki looked at the ghost. "What did you just say? Didn't you know it in your heart? The buried here are all martyrs of Arudaya. If you don't respect the worship and don't say it, but instead say insults, you have to apologize." Levi Garrison looked at him seriously. "Ha ha ha ha." They all laughed without knowing Anshiki. "Am I wrong? They are just a bunch of idiots. They died without leaving even a corpse. Why did you say it?" Anshiki sneered. Others also followed, "Yeah, these idiots are so pitiful, aren't they? It's really laughing at us." Levi Garrison gradually narrowed his eyes, and a majestic killing intent enveloped the audience. "The uncleanness in your mouth is the reason to kneel down and apologize. I said the last time I kneel down and apologize." Levi Garrison was like a demon king, and his terrifying aura suppressed Anshiki and his group. But Anshiki still bit the bullet and said, "Do you know who I am? In what capacity do you dare to kneel down and apologize to me?" Levi Garrison glanced at him. "This is the second question." The voice just fell. Levi Garrison raised his foot and banged on Anshiki's leg. Hearing a click, Anshiki fell to his knees with a plop. Anshiki didn't expect Levi Garrison to do it, and he was still so strong. In fact, Anshiki had a special power in his body. Levi Garrison had noticed it a long time ago, but in his eyes, it was as weak as an ant. Bang bang bang! Levi Garrison slammed out again, and the other people all knelt to the ground, making screams. "Apologize," Levi Garrison said calmly. I don't apologize. I'm right. And Shiki raised his head and stared at Levi Garrison, with a bit of spine. Bang! Levi Garrison rubbed his face on the ground. Soon his face was covered with blood. The burning pain made Shiki sound like a pig. I apologize, I apologize. And Shiki could only compromise. In the end, several people knelt in front of the burial mounds of these great summer heroes and apologized. Despite the apology, people like Shiki were obviously not convinced. I met you today, I'm unlucky. Dare to stay here for a while? It doesn't need too much, just 10 minutes. And Shiki looked at Levi Garrison and asked. Seeing Levi Garrison's silence, and Shiki continued to be arrogant, is it a man? Afraid, so dare not. You forgot that I said there are two things. The second thing now. And Shiki is actually come for fun, sneer, come on, what are you talking about? Tell me your identity.